anytime at WKF.com. 72 degrees. Time now is 6:06. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News.
Good morning, Rose. Good morning, Carl.
Good morning, McGraw.
What do you call a gaming console that was invented by accident?
A gaming console that was invented by accident. I don't know, Rose. What do you call a gaming console that was invented by accident?
A Nintendo.
Every time I remember that, your joke, at dinner, I say it, and then Emerson rolls, that's a dad joke. That's a dad. And like, every time I say, like, put your shoes on, that's a dad joke. I'm like, that's not a dad joke. That actually means put your shoes on.
Right. I'm actually being serious.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Eat your banana. That's a dad joke. That's a dad joke. No, it's not.
I'm not peeling very well. Finish your dad joke and your banana.
By the way, good to hear that there's an Ace Hardware store opening up, but bad that it was in Party City. I miss Party City.
I love Party City.
Party City was great.
I didn't learn about Party City till it was almost too late.
Yeah, me too. I got in late on the Party City game.
How often were you going to Party City?
Any reason?
In terms of true disclosure, they had gumballs that were the size of like giant marbles.
Mm-hmm.
And I may or may not have gone in there once or twice and just bought a giant jug of these gumballs that weren't like when you got them from a candy machine. They were hard as a rock, but they were nice, soft, and fresh. And so it was a burst of sugar, and then it would be gone. So you'd throw like 2 or 3 in your mouth. You're like, oh man, these things are fantastic.
Man, oh my gosh,
it was great. You blow the biggest bubbles.
Do you ever do a bubble inside a bubble?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Right.
They had, and I went in there a couple of times. Emerson was, Daddy, I want a scary guy. So I got a couple of scary guys from their Halloween section and put them under her bed and tried to scare her.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Now they have piñatas and balloon, all kinds. I mean, basically,
it was a party city.
It's a party.
They had everything. Paper plates, candles
of every color,
hats.
You'd walk down, it was blue, and then it was red.
Yeah, they had plastic forks in pink and red and blue and black and green. I mean, they had
organized.
It was a party at Party City.
So did they have to downgrade to Party Village?
Forget the balloon section. I mean, it looked like the Empire State Building in balloons. You're like, oh my goodness, which balloon do I want? I mean, it was insane.
That was just party neighborhood.
Now the party's over.
They're in Staples now. Staples bought them out. But the remnants of that. Yeah. So they're in Staples stores now.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I always thought like Johnny Brock's and Party City were in cahoots. Like what a great, right? The Halloween store. Because now it's open it's open the whole season, as opposed to like they would only convert it close to Halloween and then it would turn back into
Johnny Brock's.
Yeah, right. I thought
Johnny Brock's was open all year long.
It is now. Yes, I didn't think it used to be.
The dungeon was just seasonal, and now they've got that store on Jefferson.
Oh,
yeah.
That's been there a long time, though.
Yes,
hasn't
it is. But
right next to Randall's.
When we were younger.
Oh, I see. Yeah, you got to hand it to Mr. Is there a Johnny Brock? Is there a Mr. Brock?
Okay. Ed Brock.
Oh, so it's not anymore. Now it's just done. It's the dungeon, or what is it called now?
That one that is on 44 and Jefferson is just costumes.
Just costumes.
Okay.
Because it's Johnny Brock's it's a Hallmark store. They sold cards and
Aren't there other Halloween Johnny Brock's, or is that just the one?
That's the main one. I think
there's some satellites. Yeah. Gotcha.
There's one in Mackenzie Point.
Who would have thought that a Halloween shop would have survived all year long?
You sure wouldn't have.
No, that's definitely not me. No, me and the woman who lost up in Wisconsin both hate Halloween.
What other holidays are you trying to cancel?
Yeah, I love Thanksgiving. She's the communist. But all right, let's do this. We have got. Tomorrow is the annual St. Louis Men's Group Against Cancer. Boy, that's an odd name. St. Louis Men's Group Against Cancer radioathon. We're going to kick things off today, and the bidding has begun. Bid your offer to 84126. We're going to start it now, and it's going to run all through till 5:45. And here's what we're auctioning off. This is it's KTRS sports package. It includes two tickets to a Cardinals opening weekend, 2 tickets to a Battlehawks game, 2 tickets to a St. Louis Ambush game, 2 tickets to a SLU basketball game, 2 tickets to a Mizzou basketball game in Columbia, 2 tickets to a Blues regular season game, row 8 from the ice, 2 tickets to a Mizzou football home opener on September 3rd, 2 tickets to an SC soccer game, and 2 tickets to this Sunday's final round of the BMW Championship at Belle Reve.
That's an entire package?
That's it.
Whoa.
One price, all of those tickets. Hence the ultimate sports package.
That is the ultimate sports
Yes. And we're going to put in a little sweetener this year. Management doesn't know this. Management doesn't know this. But to annoy all the other shows that have to do this today, all day today, I'm going to add this little sweetener. If the winning bid comes between 6 and 10, I will throw in dinner with the 3 of us and 2 people to John Minio's.
Ooh.
So a table of 5 at John Minio's. So you'll be able to enjoy dinner at John Minio's with the 3 of us, as well as all these sports packages, if and only if the winning bid comes between 6 and 10.
That is the ultimate.
Got it?
That alone.
So if the bid, right? If you bid at noon and that's the winning bid,
nope,
you're out of luck. But if you bid at 10 o'clock,
Frank.
if you right, yeah, if you bid at 10 o'clock,
nope.
If the winning bid comes at 9:59 and that stands up the rest of the day, we'll take you to dinner. 2 people and the 3 of us.
And we're a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, you're really not that fun. But
I'm a lot of fun.
Oh, you're fun.
You'll have to stay up.
You'll.
This can't be a 4 o'clock dinner.
Can we do an early bird special?
Well, clearly, this is the early bird special because you got to go and I got to go and we got other shows to do and we really don't like our listeners anyway, so we really don't want to put up with you that long. Right. But for St. Louis Men's Group Against Cancer, we'll do it. Okay, so that's the deal. So a little bit of a twist today. Makes you want to bid early. Big bid and big and bid early.
Now, here's what someone's going to say. They're going to say, I bid my amount at 9:59. Someone outbid me, and then I rebid at 4.
No.
It has to be the bid at
the bid that carries the day. The bid that carries the day.
Okay.
So
because I could see someone coming back.
If somebody bids $1,000, just hypothetically, somebody bids $1,000. And that nobody outbids him the rest of the day, or that bid the rest of the day, you win. Got it?
Got it. I understand.
Right.
But they might not.
So
understand.
all the other show, I'm right. I want our winning bid to carry the day. I don't want somebody to come in at 5:45 and swoop in at the last second.
It's called sniping.
Yes. So you got to make a big bid early. You got to get out to an early lead, and then you need to protect it. So bid. Make your bid to 84126. 84126. It's the ultimate KTRS package, and all the money goes to St. Louis Men's Group Against Cancer.
We need your name and your bid.
Your name and your bid. We have your phone number, and we have your license plate number. Thanks to the flock cameras we have up everywhere. Captain Paul Kopsky, St. Louis Classic Company Traffic Center. Take it away.
McGraw, there's an accident on 55 North at Butler Hill with emergency vehicles blocking the right lane and only a slight slowdown. 64 West is jammed from Illinois 157 to 255. That's where the 64 West closure starts and continues to 15th Street in East St. Louis. Drivers are advised to take 255 north to westbound 5570. And road closures are in place around Belle Reve Country Club in Town and Country for the BMW Golf Championship. Ladue Road is closed between 141 and 270 from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. through Sunday. There are also closures along Mason Road near Whitfield School. This traffic report is brought to you by Fielder Electric. See what everyone is saying about the pros at Fielder Electric. Whether it's a new build or a 100-year-old home, Fielder Electric has you covered. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. woodsbasementsystems.com.
I'm meteorologist Chance Scotch with your first alert forecast, tracking scattered showers and storms throughout the rest of the remaining morning hours. This afternoon could see some isolated showers and storms popping up towards the late afternoon, early evening hours. A few stronger wind gusts going to be possible south of the metro area. Then into Thursday, we're drying up. That'll last throughout the remainder of the week into the weekend for the most parts. Temperatures back towards mid-80s. A spot shower going to be possible early Saturday morning. We dry out pretty quickly. Partly sunny skies. Looking for a beautiful weekend ahead. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chance Scotch for the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, let's talk Medicare man. Ryan Raphael was in the studio yesterday talking about those and giving some advice on Medicare. And look, there's lots to know, and we're not expected to know, but it is somewhat confusing. Ryan Raphael will help you manage and navigate it, and oftentimes you don't have to switch over when you're 65. Lots of people we send to Ryan Raphael call him up and say, I'm approaching 65, but I'm still working. Here's my insurance now. What do I do? Many, many, many times he says, don't do anything. You're good. You're solid. That's a better deal than Medicare. Sometimes he says, no, you know what? Hold on a second. How about this? And sometimes he's able to save you money, get better coverage. It just depends on your situation. That's why you need to make an informed decision, and that's why you are one phone call away from Ryan Raphael. Now, you're over 65. Maybe you're not on Medicare. Maybe you're on Medicare, but you're not sure about the plan you're on. Plans are changing. Doctors are changing. Doctors move. Doctors retired. You want to see what the deal is? Call Ryan Raphael. Again, he'll run you through the grist mill to make sure you've got exactly the right plan you want. That's why he's the man, the Medicare man. Don't worry about the cost. No cost. You're not paying anything extra. You're just getting rock solid, good information from a St. Louisan who knows a thing or two about all this stuff. And that's why he is the man. He is the Medicare man. MedicareManSTL.com. Call him. Nanny approved. MedicareManSTL.com.
Jill Farmer for Premier Heating and Cooling. Summer in St. Louis means your air conditioner basically clocks in with a full-time job. And if your AC is 15, 20, or maybe even 25 years old, it could be working a whole lot harder and costing you a whole lot more than it should. A newer, high-efficiency system from Premier Heating and Cooling can cut cooling costs dramatically compared to older units. In some homes, upgrading from a 20-year-old air conditioner to a modern, high-efficiency system can reduce energy use by 20 to 40%. And even a professional clean and check tune-up can improve efficiency, airflow, and help your system keep up during brutal heat waves. Add in a smart thermostat, and the Department of Energy says homeowners can save another 10% a year on heating and cooling costs. So before your old AC taps out during the hottest week of the summer, call the highly trained team at Premier Heating and Cooling. Financing options available. 636-916-1122. PremierHeatingCooling.net. Comfort you can count on.
Hi, it's Frank Cusimano inviting you to join me for the Press Box, brought to you by Control Option, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. We're going to interview some of the biggest names in sports and have our opening monologue. That's the Press Box, brought to you by Control Option, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. right here on the Big 550 KTRS, the talk of St. Louis.
This is the McGraw Show.
Let me turn my microphone on. Stephen Portnoy going to be joining us here in mere moments. We'll check in with him. Then we do have Stephen Portnoy. All right, good. Stephen Portnoy, the twists and turns of the ballroom. Where are we now?
Now are waiting for word from the justice. Filings have been submitted by both sides ahead of a Friday deadline.
The appeals court ruled a couple of weeks ago that non-security related work on the ballroom had to come to a stop. That's the above ground, below ground question. And the administration has asked the Supreme Court. And yesterday we saw the final round of filings from the National Trust for Historic Preservation. And now the clock ticks. And it could come today, it could come tomorrow, it could come Friday, might not come at all. And if it doesn't, well, that would be the signal from the Supreme Court that doesn't want to get involved, and that the order from the court is, the court's plural, is for the president to stop construction of the ballroom. We'll see what happens, but ultimately this question is really about the rule of law, about the Constitution, about the limits of the president's power to do things without authorization from Congress. And arguably, the president is going to make his argument that he has this national security imperative to build this facility next to the executive mansion. But, what he proposes to do and what he is doing is not something that you could point to very easily in our history to say, aha, see, a privately funded effort to build something on federal land on this scope and scale at this kind of location has been done without lawmakers giving the thumbs up.
Stephen Portnoy, a couple of listeners or texters have texted in and said, even though it's on a much grander scale, President Obama put in basketball courts. You mentioned last week that FDR put in a swimming pool. Richard Nixon put in a bowling alley. Did they get congressional approval to do those things?
Not necessarily. You could argue that the installation of a basketball court or a garden or, in Trump's case, a tennis pavilion are part of sort of the tradition of what presidents have done while they've been in place. But the idea of a 90,000 square foot ballroom, twice the size of the existing mansion, the district court judge, Richard Leon, said just can't compare. That, you can add in maybe features, but when Harry Truman gutted the place and installed the Truman balcony and did a full restoration in the 1940s, Congress appropriated funds for that and authorized that. So that's perhaps the clearest example of a president saying, we want to do this, we need to do this, the building's in disrepair, and Congress saying, you know what, sir, you're right, here's the authorization, here's the money. President Trump hasn't done that. He's made this argument to the country repeatedly that we've wanted this ballroom, we need this ballroom, it's important for all these reasons related to events, state dinners and whatnot. Oh, and then we're going to put a drone port on the roof, and it's going to have all these columns and a bunker underneath because we tore the old bunker up without asking anybody. But we don't need Congress's permission because ... And the idea that the president has this plenary power, that is this constitutional power to do this, is not even something his attorneys are arguing. Because if you read the text of the Constitution, you'll see that Congress actually controls the property of the United States, not the executive. And the president doesn't have the power to build a military installation. Congress has that authority. Anywhere in the country, the president can't just say, we're seizing this land and we're going to build a fort on it. Congress has that plenary power. And so if the president's talking about this military installation on the White House grounds, why wouldn't Congress have that responsibility?
Stephen Portnoy, the Trump administration says it's nice, but we're already so far into this thing that you have to let us finish it.
That's right. And that's a bold argument, but one that they're clearly making to the Supreme Court, that it's 65% along, that it's going to be substantially completed by this November, that they're working 20 hours a day on it. And essentially, they're putting the rule of law to the test. And this is one of the arguments that the National Trust for Historic Preservation is making, that this is the last chance for the judiciary to say, sir, there are limits to your powers, and you have to yield when the courts say you must. And we'll see what happens.
So the Supreme Court was going to rule by Friday? Is that what you're saying?
Well, the deadline for the appeals court stay to be lifted is Friday. So if we don't hear from the justices by then, well, the order would take effect. And then it becomes this bigger question of, well, how do you enforce the order?
Right.
Because typically the idea of enforcing court orders is, we turn to the executive branch and say, what are you going to do?
Right. Yeah, that's that we'll deal with that on Monday. But they could come with a ruling. They could stay, but they've got everything they want now. The 9 of them are going to chew on it over a ham sandwich and get back to us.
So here's what could happen. We could hear from Chief Justice Roberts and his colleagues within the next 48 hours to say, we're going to put in an administrative pause. We're going to schedule arguments. We're going to take this case. That could happen, which would really probably allow for ballroom construction to continue, as it has continued since this lawsuit was first filed, which is how it's gotten so far along. Every time a court has issued a ruling ordering the president to stop, they've also included exceptions, and it's been stayed and delayed. And so that's how you get these negative rulings against the president, but the ballroom's 65% done.
Stephen Portnoy, stay tuned for the stunning conclusion. Thanks, Stephen. Good stuff.
You bet.
You got it. 627 here, Big 550, KTRS. Outdoor living. Tip of the cap to outdoor living. I got to tell you, I've been a sponsor. They've been a sponsor of the show for, 10, 15 years now, and I've used them for a number of different things. But this one was the deck that they have officially completed. And, man, that metal framing, composite decking with lights and all the bells and whistles, that's a deck. And people have, Larry and some of the neighbors have come over, and, yeah, they've full-on deck envy. 50-year warranty slapped right there on the thing. Emerson's going to be 56 years old before that deck runs. It should be my age when that deck runs out of a warranty. No staining, no warping, no bowing, no problems whatsoever because it's metal framing, and you just can't do that with wood. It just doesn't have those properties anymore. So if you're looking for a deck, a true deck that will be built true and right and wonderful. I was talking to somebody yesterday who had outdoor living come out to their deck and build their deck. And I said, you didn't tell me how good that. They said, no, they've done it all, soup to nuts, man. They should be awful proud of themselves over there at Outdoor Living. So if you want a deck, a fence, gazebo, anything, Outdoor Living is where it starts. Big Bend and I-44 in Kirkwood, 314-966-3325 or outdoorlivinginc.com. St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Here's Captain Paul Kopsky.
McGraw, despite the rain, we have no accidents. 64 West is slow from Illinois 159 to 255. That's where the 64 West closure starts and continues to 15th Street in East St. Louis. Drivers are advised to take 255 north to westbound 5570. And road closures are in place around Belle Reve Country Club in Town and Country for the BMW Golf Championship. Ladue Road is closed between 141 and 270 from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. through Sunday. There are also closures along Mason Road near Whitfield School. This traffic report is brought to you by Stages St. Louis. Get your single tickets now for Stages St. Louis. Take a trip back to the 40s and 50s with Guys and Dolls, which runs through August 23rd. Then Stages will wrap up this year with the incredible true story of Come From Away. Call 314-821-2407 or visit stagesstlouis.org. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, 75 degrees right now at the Big 550 KTRS. We got some rain in the forecast this morning as you're headed to work. It could get a little dicey. A couple of thunderstorms, a couple of boomers along the way. Thunderstorms today, high of just 80 degrees. We're going to have this rain on and off through 9 o'clock. And then later in the afternoon, 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock, they're calling for some isolated thunderstorms. So it's going to rain on and off all day today. 74, 75 degrees right now at 6:30. Let's go back to the newsroom. Here's Rose Dalton.
President Donald Trump says he is delaying the 50% U.S. tariffs on $20 billion worth of Canadian imports after the two countries reached a last-minute deal hours before the sanctions were to go into effect. The announcement, which Trump made late Tuesday on his social media platform, buys time for more negotiations and avoids, for now, another strain in an already tense relation between the historic allies. U.S. Representative Byron Donalds has won the Republican nomination for Florida governor, and former Rep. David Jolly has picked up the Democratic nod, setting the stage for a fall campaign to replace outgoing Governor Ron DeSantis and decide the state's future political direction. Donalds would become Florida's first black governor if elected. Jolly is a former Republican congressman who switched parties last year. In local headlines, a Cole County judge is scheduled to rule today on a lawsuit over a petition that would make it more difficult for Missouri lawmakers to change laws approved by voters. The lawsuit was filed following Missouri Secretary of State Denny Hoskins' decision not to certify the petition for the November ballot. And it's move-in day for returning students at Webster University. Freshmen and transfer students will move in on Friday. Motorists should expect extra traffic around the university. 72 degrees. Time now is 6:31. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News.
Inland Marine Boats in Barnard has been serving your boating needs for 40 years. Hi, I'm Jim, and this is my son, Ryan.
Remember, you only get 18 summers with your kids. Make the most of them with a boat from Inland Marine Boats, your Mercury Marine dealer.
Why leave home for vacation when your favorite destination could be your own backyard? Hi, this is Dan Head, owner of Patriot Builds. Transform your deck or patio into the perfect place to relax and make memories with the Patriot sunroom, screen room, patio cover, power shades, outdoor kitchen, and much more. Our employee craftsmen have helped over 10,000 homeowners create stunning backyard living spaces. Save thousands with a free insulated roof upgrade. Call today for your free design consultation, 314-822-3232, or click patriotbuildsstl.com or visit our showroom at 811 South Kirkwood Road.
I'm Reed Millard, president of Lupton Millard Chapel of St. Louis. We've been faithfully serving St. Louis families for generations. At Lupton Millard Chapel, we understand it's the little things that make a big difference for the families we serve. A traditional church funeral or a unique celebration of life. Providing the finest in services and attention to detail has always been the hallmark of our family.
Lupton Millard Chapel, the leader in excellence since 1905. For more information, go to LuptonMillardChapel.com.
The official birthplace of the toasted ravioli is
Mama's on the Hill.
And Mama's on the Hill serves the best in town. Mama's has been a mainstay on the Hill for decades and is still a family-run restaurant serving up great Italian food in a fun atmosphere. Open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner, and right in the heart of the Hill at Edwards and Bischoff. Delicious catering and party rooms too.
Mama's on the Hill.
Make reservations at 314-776-3100 and 24/7 at mamasonthehill.com.
Summer isn't over until you've experienced the 2026 DuCoin State Fair. Join the fun August 28th through September 7th in DuCoin, Illinois, with free gate admission every day. Enjoy thrilling carnival rides, mouth-watering fair food, livestock shows, family attractions, and incredible grandstand entertainment. Featuring stars like Wiz Khalifa, Tyler Hubbard, Night Ranger, Russell Dickerson, and more. Make memories the whole family will love. See the full entertainment lineup and plan your visit today at dsf.illinois.gov. That's the 2026 DuCoin State Fair, where Illinois comes together.
Hi, it's JJ from Spectrum Eyeglass Repair, the nation's leader in eyeglass repair. Is there a broken pair of sunglasses you thought were doomed to stay in the glove box? Are your glasses taped together, glued together? Bring them to Spectrum. We'll fix them. Spectrum Eyeglass Repair carries a large selection of pre-made clip-ons, cases, and accessories. We can custom make clip-ons to fit your frames. You'll like our service, and you'll love our prices, almost as much as you'll love our song. We're in Crestwood on Watson Road, on the web at SpectrumEyeglassRepair.com. Now let's hear that groovy song one more time. Sing along with me.
Spectrum Eyeglass Repair.
Kuna Food Service has been the trusted food supplier in the Midwest since 1918. For over 100 years, Kuna Food Service has been distributing the highest quality food products to some of your favorite restaurants while delivering superior customer service. When a restaurant puts their trust in Kuna Food Service, they get a team that truly cares about their success. That's why at Kuna, they like to say, they're big enough to handle it, yet small enough to care. Check them out online at kunafoodservice.com.
Muni in Forest Park.
Shakespeare meets showbiz in the Muni debut of Something Rotten, a hilarious mashup that closes out the summer on stage August 17th through 23rd. Your seats are waiting at muni.org.
This is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
All right, I have a question. ZZ Top was the band with the long hair,
His beards.
the long beards, right? And there was one man who didn't have a beard, right?
Yes.
And that one man died yesterday at the age of 77 years old.
Correct.
And his name?
And the man who didn't have the beard in the band ZZ Top's name was Frank Beard.
Correct.
Well done.
Now, is somebody playing a trick on somebody, or
The irony has been, it's been
okay, it's been noted.
It's been respected since they started.
Okay.
Since 1970.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So Frank Beard, the only guy without a beard, he had a mustache.
Correct.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And he was a drummer.
And he was the drummer. Passed away at the age of 77. Yeah, I think I played ZZ Top on Guitar Hero.
How'd you do?
I think I did all right. But I think I like that Eddie Money song better. I think
Take
that
Me
was
Home
my
Tonight or
oh,
Baby Hold On.
Maybe it was. I always get Eddie Rabbit and Eddie Money confused.
Shaken.
So it was one of those. But I was jamming on the one.
Yeah. You
On easy, medium, hard, or expert.
Oh, I was not expert.
Yeah.
I was not expert, but. And I can't believe I'm saying this. If you go on YouTube and look at the videos of the kids on Expert, it's
really impressive.
It's insane. Yeah, no.
They could have actually learned how to play the real guitar with as much time as they spent on Guitar
That
Hero.
game's fun.
That game is fun. Is it still around?
No, actually, it's funny you say that because I tried to rip. I want nobody plays it anymore, and the guitar I had, like, the buttons kind of stick now because I don't know, maybe a drink or two has been spilled on it, but
right.
I couldn't find. It was amazing how hard it was to find any. Like, I don't even have a console anymore.
Right.
I don't even know in which to play it, but yeah, like it was tougher to find than I thought, even to buy a new guitar or the pieces to
Right.
it or whatever.
Interesting. All right. So I know we talked about this in the last couple of weeks, but this one hit me hard. We mentioned this the other day, and you will remember this. Columbia House subscription, right? 16 albums for a penny.
Oh, yeah.
Remember this?
Yes.
Remember Columbia House? Yeah. Well, they just announced, believe it or not, Columbia House, that they will no longer be accepting new orders. Yes, Columbia
They were
House.
still around?
Yeah, I didn't even know
I'm
that.
dying to know who's still trying to place an order.
So listen to this. Columbia House was originally launched in 1955 by Columbia Records. It was designed as a way for music to reach lovers in rural and suburban areas that didn't have record stores. The Columbia House concept was simple yet revolutionary. Customers could order records by mail and have them delivered directly to their home. Membership often came with promotional discounts as long as the subscriber promised to purchase a minimum order of full-priced records in the future. At the zenith of Columbia House, they had $1.5 billion in revenue.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, membership surpassed 3 million by the 70s. The 80s and 90s brought in future growth with the rise of compact discs. It peaked in the 90s. They claimed roughly 16 million members, and together, accounting for a substantial portion of all CD sales in the U.S., the annual revenue reached as high as $1.4 billion. The company entered the video market, adding videotapes and DVDs and Blu-rays to its categories. Changed hands several times. In 1991, Sony formed a joint venture with Time Warner, which contributed its own videos to the music clubs. Blackstone bought it in a majority of it. In 2005, BMG acquired the company. 3 years later, a private investment under the firm of Najafali Group bought it and rebranded it as Direct Brands. The music club ended in 2019 as digital downloads and streamings eroded the demand for the physical albums. However, the company continued under Columbia House, named solely as a DVD and Blu-ray club. Canada operations closed in 2010, In 2015, the parent company, then known as Filmed Entertainment, filed Chapter 11. The remaining assets were acquired by John Lipton through Edge Line Ventures. Sony Music Entertainment continues to own the trademark, and they announced that starting September 15th, you are no longer going to be able to join the club, but they will continue to fill orders that they currently have.
Wow.
Yeah.
Isn't vinyl cool again, though? You'd think that they'd be.
Let's start up a Carl House record.
Oh.
Yeah, vinyl is kind of back. And
Wait,
big, baby.
is vinyl's not part of their collection, is it?
Yeah, they don't have it anymore. They just do DVDs and
movies.
I'd be curious who's still. I'm surprised. I guess and I love that. That's for people who don't have access to.
Well, they
they
stopped the music in 2010, and now they just do movies, Blu-rays and DVDs. And I mean, who's doing Blu-rays and DVDs these days? And so Columbia House has canceled.
Aww.
Yeah.
They had a good run.
They had a run.
I mean,
71 years is pretty good.
71 years and $1.4 billion a year?
Respect, man. Yeah,
16 million members?
Wow.
I mean, I haven't seen a commercial in forever, right? They were in every single magazine.
Was that where you literally, they had a big back page with all these little stamps?
It's the back cover of Parade.
Right? It was just a ton.
It was in everything. It was in People.
Wanted.
It was in Newsweek. It was those silly little flyers that would fall out of the magazine all the time that were so annoying.
And sometimes they were stamps, and you can
that's what I remember because they had a whole page of just stamps.
And then they would it was also on remember when 16 for 1 penny, but then if you circle the smiley face, you'll get a 17th for free.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it
great
was
marketing.
Yeah, Columbia House is closing down. Is anything sacred?
Apparently
not even Columbia House. Columbia Records. Columbia House Music Club.
Where were they out of? Do you just say
Sounds like the hedge funds got I don't know, the hedge funds got a hold of them and ruined it.
Columbia was bought by Sony.
But I mean, I wonder where the concept, if you're going all the way back, in somebody's basement, who just has love for music.
I think I was reading, it was in New York, and then they moved to Terre Haute, Indiana.
Nice.
That was where the warehouse was in Terre Haute.
Felt it a good Midwest landing.
Aww. So, there you go.
So at least your orders will still be filled.
So you have until September 15th to get your orders in.
That's impressive. They're still going to honor until their
I guess
inventory?
I guess, yeah.
So if you want to get Weekend at Bernie's 2.
No more.
Who doesn't want to get Weekend at Bernie's?
St. Louis Men's Group Ultimate Sports Package. We're starting off not very good. Not very good. It's a $1,500 value. This is all part of the kickoff of the men's group against cancer for tomorrow. We're auctioning off the Ultimate Sports Package today. 2 tickets to the BMW Championship game on Friday, 2 tickets to a soccer game, 2 tickets to a Mizzou game, 2 tickets to a Blues game, Mizzou, SLU, Ambush, Battlehawks, and 2 tickets to the opening game weekend in 2027 for the Cardinals. That whole package, one price. Text your bid to 84126. We'll announce the winning bid at 5:45, and if the winning bid comes from the morning show, we're going to tack on dinner for 5, Rose, Carl, McGraw, and 2 of you at John Minio's.
Maybe we're not. Maybe that could be a deterrent to some people.
You think?
Maybe we're not as fun as we think that we are.
Maybe
and all of a sudden,
maybe
people
all
are
the bid's going to start at 10.
I was going to bid a lot, but I don't know.
$5. I don't want to win that. I don't want to win.
Hi, can I have the dinner without John? Without you guys?
If the winning bid comes from the morning show, it's your option. Yeah. Whether you want to go to dinner with
and now
us
they start
or
rolling
not.
in. Oh, slow it down.
You can turn down the dinner option of the award. 6:45. You know what? Let me amend that. Let me sweeten the pot a little bit. Dinner for 6. Rose, Carl, McGraw, Captain Paul Kobski.
Yes. How about that?
And how about that? And then two from the winning bid. So we'll get to finally meet Paul Kobski and see what he looks like.
That sounds good.
All right. So you'll join us on this extravaganza?
Sure, I'll be there.
All right, good. You can pick up the tab, too, while you're over there. Captain Paul Kopsky, looks like this BMW championship is going to be a problem with traffic all week long.
That's right, McGraw. Road closures are in place around Bellevue Country Club and Town and Country for the BMW Golf Championship. Ladue Road is closed between 141 and 270 from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. through Sunday. There are also closures along Mason Road near Whitfield School. Otherwise, there's an accident on 6455 West at the King Bridge approaching the Poplar Street Bridge. And 64 West is slow from Illinois 159 to 255. That's where 64 West, the closure starts and continues to 15th Street in East St. Louis. Drivers are advised to take 255 north to westbound 5570. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right. We have our first bid for the Ultimate Sports Package, $700. Booyah. I want to go to dinner with everybody but Rose. No, it doesn't say that. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that. So if the winning bid comes from between 6 and 10, we're throwing in dinner with the gang at John Minio's, which is, by the way, a bit of a chunk of change. I might have to call them and see if they want to trade for some promotional advertisements. $700 from, I don't want to out the man, but it's somewhat relatively legendary in the St. Louis metropolitan area. All right, there you go. $700 is the current bid. We'll see what happens. It's a $1,500 bid. 2 tickets to the Ultimate Sports Package, 2 tickets to the final round of the PGA Championship, BMW Championship, St. Louis SC, Mizzou football, Blues, Mizzou basketball, SLU basketball, Ambush, Battlehawks, Cardinals opening weekend next year. That's a pretty good package. The bid is $700. Text your bid to 84126. If the bid comes from the show, we'll take 2 of you and the 4 of us to dinner at John Minio's. 648, Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. woodsbasementsystems.com.
I'm First Alert 4 Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton. Scattered thunderstorms are likely through Wednesday morning. Some of these could produce some downpours and gusty winds. A low of 71, then a high of 81 in the afternoon. It's cooler because all the clouds and rain, as we still have a chance for an isolated shower thunderstorm later in the day. The more widespread heavy rain being in the morning, though. Thursday, partly cloudy with a high right around 85. That's the latest from the First Alert 4 Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton for the Big 550 KTRS.
Let's talk Lacey Lumber. Lacey Lumber is your go-to for all of your materials, whether it's builders, contractors, homeowners. Lacey Lumber is known for their quality craftsmanship. If you need something built by them, if you need materials, they'll get it delivered right to the job site, whether you're, as I said, a builder, contractor, or homeowner, and they'll deliver it, 150, 200, 250 miles from their offices in Belleville. Family owned since 1872. When you consider the customer service, when you consider the delivery, when you consider the quality of the materials and the price, you're going to get a better deal at Lacey Lumber than anywhere else in town, because what good is buying cheap lumber if you can't use the lumber? It's bowed and warped and it's not going to work. Lacey is known for their lumber that is straight, right, and true. So for all of your building material needs, do what St. Louisans have been doing since 1872. And that is Lacey or LaceyLumber.com.
Have you been hurt in a crash or on the job? Call Brown & Brown now for a free consultation. 314-333-3333. That's 314-333-3333.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
It's Julie Buck here to tell you that the patio is open at Bishop's Post right next to Chesterfield Mall. Get your reservations in now and go to Bishop's Post. You will love it. Tell them Julie Buck sent you. bishopspost.com.
Tune in to the Frank and Jill Show on Thursday mornings at 10:35 to catch Everything You Need to Know by Jeff, powered by Banner Construction. Find out what's going on in St. Louis and where St. Louisans go when they head out of town. Thursdays with Frank and Jill.
Lionel Richie, live in concert. Playing at the Muni, Saturday, August 29th. Get tickets now at metrotix.com.
McGraw, live in the morning on.
All right, the Supreme Court, as we talked to Stephen Portnoy, they're debating on what to do with the President Trump's White House ballroom. Also, the Supreme Court is being asked once again. Jim Ryan's got this story on another controversial issue. Jim, what's the Supreme Court being asked to do?
To consider a law here in Texas, the law that requires the posting of the 10 Commandments in every public school classroom in the state. 5.5 million kids have to go to class. That's a compulsory education state, so they have to be there in the classroom. State legislators want them looking at the 10 Commandments at least part of the day. By the way, the Attorney General wants them praying to start the day as well. So yes, the families here in Texas, about 24 families in the ACLU, are taking their case to the Supreme Court. The Fifth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals ruled in favor of the Texas law, and also one in Louisiana that it mirrors, but not a slam dunk. It was 9-8, the vote in the Fifth U.S. Circuit. So now it's been elevated up to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has been asked to take a look at this, but they don't have to. The Supreme Court could say, forget about it, and we're done with this, and that would let the case in Texas stand, let the law here stand.
When are they planning on ruling on this?
No, well, it won't be until the fall that we know whether the Supreme Court will even hear this case, right? I mean, they do things very deliberately at the Supreme Court level. And so we won't know for several months whether this will be a part of the docket there. A lot of folks thought it was settled in 1980 when the Supreme Court back then determined that you couldn't hang the 10 Commandments in public school classrooms, a case that came out of Kentucky. But of course, the court has become much more conservative since then. And so conservative leaderships in places like Louisiana and Texas and Alabama are hoping that that this new face of the Supreme Court will support this kind of a law, McGraw.
Interesting. What did the Supreme Court rule back in 1980? What was the numbers?
Well, it was a solid. I'm not sure what the breakdown was between the 9 judges. I probably should find that out.
Okay.
But the majority determined, suffice it to say, that you couldn't do this. That it was a separation of church and state issue. The Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton says the separation of church and state is, quote, in his words, bogus. He says there's nothing in the Constitution about that, and so it's not a constitutional question at all. Separation of church and state is a principle, not a law, he says.
Interesting. Are they planning, do they want the Jewish version of the 10 Commandments, the Roman Catholic and Lutheran versions of the 10 Commandment, or the Protestant version of the 10 Commandments posted?
The opponents don't want it there at all, but the one that is required by the state legislature is the King James 10 Commandments, the Protestant version of the 10 Commandments. Does that mean you can go in and post the tenets of the Quran or post Jewish scripture? Nope. It has to be the 10 Commandments that came out of the King James version of the Bible.
Interesting. So the Roman Catholic version of the 10 Commandments would not be allowed, just the Protestant ones?
No.
Yeah, interesting. All right, good. Jim Ryan, we will wait and see what the Supreme Court says. Good stuff, Jim Ryan. Thanks for checking in.
See ya.
You betcha. All right, 6:50. What, you looking at me like I'm crazy?
No, I was just this whole story blows my mind. Like I thought it was all like.
Well, I want the 10 Commandments posted, but the Roman Catholic version.
Well, that's my point. Like, that just seems like that. Isn't everybody come over here for religious freedom kind of thing? Like, to me, to the point of like the idea of putting something like that is, like you said, like that's not which religion are we
right
showcasing here? Since there's 11 billion of them, I don't understand.
But there's only 3 prominent versions of the 10 Commandments: the Jewish version. And they're similar, but they're not all exactly the same.
But they all fall under the Christian the
Jewish one doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. So
right.
It's like what?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Well, no, look, I'm for prayer in school. I think they should all pray the Hail Mary before they.
I knew you.
What? They should. I think everyone should have the Hail Mary.
Are you serious?
Well, yeah, I'm Catholic.
Yeah, right. I knew that. I knew you.
Right, and I mean,
it's like what?
The whole 10 Commandments is right. I mean, which one would you put up? And that's the fight. It isn't should we or shouldn't we? Okay, fine. Let's put it up. Which one do you want to put up? The Jewish one,
Are they very
The Roman
different?
Catholic one?
Are they very different?
They're similar.
They're similar, but
They're
there's
just
different
numbered.
wording.
Well, isn't the first one "I am your God, worship no gods before me" kind of thing? So doesn't that kind of
Well,
negate?
I'm no expert on the Ten Commandments, and I'd have to go to the rule book to see. But sometimes 1 is 4, 4 is 5, 3 is 2.
Sometimes the one you just mentioned is 2 separate, and then sometimes it's 1 in itself.
Yeah, they're all similar. But I think in one you can covet thy neighbor's wife, and in the other one you can't.
Stop it.
So I prefer that one.
Which one's got the coveting?
It says nothing about coveting
left?
thy neighbor's wife. I want that.
What's the? I don't see the Ten Commandments in there. Well, I heard a comedian once say, I used to read the warning labels on. It was a guy, and he was like, I used to read the warning labels on cigarettes. I always bought the one that said "may harm you during pregnancy." I'm not pregnant, so I'll buy that one.
There you go.
6:57 here, Big 550 KTRS, St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center. Good morning, Captain Paul Kopsky.
Good morning, McGraw. The latest is an accident on 270 north past 55. There's a crash on 6455 west at the King Bridge approaching the Poplar Street Bridge. And 64 west is slow from Illinois 159 to 255. That's where the 64 West closure starts and continues to 15th Street in East St. Louis. Drivers are advised to take 255 north to westbound 5570. And this traffic report is brought to you by Neighbors Credit Union. If you're ready to upsize, downsize, or first-time home buy, turn to the team at Neighbors Credit Union. At Neighbors Credit Union, you'll find great rates, expert advice, and personalized friendly service throughout the entire home loan process and beyond. That's just what you'd expect from a great neighbor. Apply online today at neighborscu.org. From the KTRS St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, listen to this. Our Big 550 Ultimate Sports Package bid is now at $750. $750. All right. 1 hour down, 3 hours to go. Text your bid to 84126. And if the winning bid comes from the morning show, during the morning show, we'll take the winning bid, 2 of you, to Minios with the 4 of us as a extra incentive to stick it to all the other shows that have to talk about how we have the winning bid all day long here on the Big 550 KTRS. Otherwise, for the next couple of days, it got a little bit of rain this morning. That is going to move out, and then we're going to have rain pretty much on and off throughout the rest of the day, middays and then afternoon. High today of 82. Overnight tonight, the low is going to be 65. Nice. With some early morning clouds tomorrow, high of 84. And then Friday, upper 80s. But we don't touch 90, at least for the foreseeable future. So all good news. It is 73 degrees here at the Big 550 KTRS. Coming up next hour, we're going to talk with Shannon Kingston. There was another ship in the Pacific that lost power. We'll get the latest there. And then Peter Harlambous has this unbelievable story of this cocaine ring that was foiled on the campus of Penn State, having fraternity brothers cut and bag cocaine as some type of hazing incident on the Penn State campus. We'll get to all that in the next hour. 7 o'clock, KTRS St. Louis.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. The November election picture is becoming a little clearer with each state primary we pass. In Florida, Byron Donalds, with the strong backing of President Trump, won the GOP governor's race last night, telling his supporters he wants to unite the party.
You see, the Florida dream to us is clear. It's the promise that if you work hard, you can get ahead, own a home, raise your family, and give your kids a better shot than you had without government holding you back.
Democratic Socialist Angie Nixon won her state's Senate primary. She defeated Alex Vindman in the contest for now Secretary of State Marco Rubio's seat. No talks and none scheduled in the war against Iran. ABC's Martha Raddatz with more on how some folks feel about it.
Nearly 6 months after the U.S. and Israel launched strikes against Tehran, a new poll shows a majority of Americans disapprove of the strikes against the regime, with 80% of Americans now fearing the war will go on for an extended period of time.
President Trump says the Strait of Hormuz is open. Others say, no, it's not. New accusations from the family of actress Hayden Panettiere against those who were at her home when she died. Here's ABC's Trevor Alt.
According to police, Panettiere's on and off again boyfriend, Brian Hickerson, and his brother, Zach, were also there. Police say they found no indications of foul play or suspicious circumstances, and the preliminary autopsy found no signs of trauma, with her cause of death still pending. Now, Panettiere's mother is speaking out in a new interview, saying this person in her life that we've been trying to get rid of for quite some time was with her at her death. And that was Brian Hickerson.
In her recent memoir, Panettiere recounted being beaten by Hickerson. President Trump now saying he's delaying the 50% tariffs on $20 billion worth of Canadian goods. They were to have taken effect hours ago. The president says negotiations.
This is the Big 550, KTRS St. Louis, the station you have depended on for 3 decades. We are the talk of St. Louis.
I'm Mark Cantor. Here's why you can count on Cantor Injury Law.
My name is Michelle. I'm a litigation paralegal at Cantor Injury Law, and you can count on Cantor because we are smart, honest, and hardworking.
I'm Kevin Glenn, and a partner here at Cantor Injury Law. You can count on Cantor because we make your cause our cause.
No fee if no recovery. Please visit cantorinjurylaw.com or call us at 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Lauren, can I ask you a couple questions? Sure. If your parents were buying a home tomorrow, would you represent them any differently than one of your clients?
Not a chance. And when I say that, I mean, I treat my clients exactly like I'd treat my parents. Same honesty, same advice, same negotiation. Every client gets the same service.
Okay, second question. If one of your closest friends called you and said, I found a house, I'm in love with it, but you knew it was a bad decision, what would you do?
I've already done it before. I tell them no, don't buy it. My job isn't to sell people houses. It's to help them make good decisions. And sometimes that means they don't get to buy anything that day.
That's exactly why I've sent my friends and family to Lauren for years.
I mean, it's simple. Buying and selling a house, it's a big deal. And people deserve to have someone who's willing to tell them what they need to hear and not just what they want to hear.
Exactly. If you already know Lauren from listening every week, then you already know the kind of person she is. When it's time to make your move, give Lauren Risley Realty a call at 314-775-0684.
Gelmish & Sons have been providing quality heating and cooling services since 1950. They work exclusively with Lennox, the preferred choice of St. Louis homeowners. Call Gelmish & Sons for your next Lennox HVAC installation and service.
314-993-1110. 72 degrees at 7:04. Here's what's happening now. An investigation is underway after a pedestrian was struck and killed in North St. Louis. Police say the victim was struck by multiple vehicles along Natural Bridge in North Euclid last night. One of the drivers stayed at the scene, according to police. The victim's name has not been released. Governor J.B. Pritzker has issued a state disaster proclamation following weeks of severe and record-breaking weather across Illinois. The severe weather resulted in widespread damage from torrential downpours, flash flooding, straight-line winds, and several tornadoes. The proclamation will make additional state resources and personnel available to support local response efforts and recovery operations. MAP test scores in Missouri are rising. The Missouri Department of Elementary and Secondary Education released the 25-26 grade level and end-of-course preliminary assessment data yesterday. The test results showed progress in English, language arts, math, science, and government in both grade level and high school end-of-course assessments. 6th grade math improved by 3 points, and 8th grade science scores rose by more than 4 points. The U.S. Figure Skating Championships, which were held in St. Louis, has been nominated for the Best Amateur Sports Event of 2026. KTRS's Vicki Pimentel has the story.
The 2026 Prevagen U.S. Figure Skating Championships, hosted in the Gateway City in January, has been named a finalist for the Best Amateur Sports Event in the 2026 Sports Travel Awards. The event was held at Enterprise Center and also at the Centene Community Ice Center. The country's top skaters competed for national titles and spots on the U.S. Olympic figure skating team. The event drew more than 91,000 fans and generated nearly $16 million in economic impact for the region. 67% of the spectators came from outside the St. Louis area. Fans can cast their votes through Friday, August 28th, by visiting sportstravelmagazine.com and selecting the figure skating championships in the Best Amateur Sports Event category. Vicki Pimentel, KTRS News.
Walmart drone deliveries could soon be flying over St. Charles City and Maplewood. City councils in both areas heard pitches last night from Wing, Walmart's drone delivery partner. Earlier this year, Wing announced plans to service the St. Louis area. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist. So push for all your floral needs. Push your order anytime at WKF.com. 72 degrees. Time now is 7:06. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News.
All right. Speaking of decks and everything, did you see that video of those U.S. Marshals who were serving some type of warrant in some second-story building in Missouri? And all of a sudden, the deck collapsed. Have you seen this video?
Oh, yeah. I did see that.
Yeah. I mean, they're standing there. There's about 8 or 9 of them on this deck, and it's a second-story, looks like an apartment building of some kind. And they're trying to serve a warrant, and the deck collapses.
Yeah.
5 of them had to be hospitalized, a mixture of broken bones, ripped muscles. 1 or 2 of them had a concussion.
There's a lot of them on that.
Yeah. These decks, you keep hearing about these decks failing from time to time. I mean, it's every once in a while you hear a story, there's a video or a story about a deck collapsing. Mm-hmm. That's no joke, man. That wood rots a lot more than you would think. And so walking along a wooden deck, you got to be careful out there because these guys, right, these U.S. Marshals who were serving a warrant in Randolph County, the video is pretty disturbing how the bottom just sort of falls out from them. So got to be careful out there. All right. 7:08 here, Big 550 KTRS. Hour number 2 of our 4-hour auction on air is the KTRS Ultimate Sports Package. The bidding doesn't end until 5:45, which is at the end of Heidi's show and Josh's show today. And it's the Ultimate Sports Package. It includes 2 tickets to a Cardinals opening game weekend next year, 2 tickets to a Battlehawks game, to an Ambush game, 2 tickets to a SLU basketball game, Mizzou basketball game in Columbia, 2 tickets to a Blues game, 8 rows from the ice, 2 tickets to a Mizzou game, 2 tickets to the SC game at Energizer Park, and 2 tickets to the final round of the BMW Championships in Belle Reve. All of that is the Ultimate Ticket Package. And the bid right now is $750. And we've put this out there, that if the winning bid comes from this show, we will, all on top of all of this, throw in dinner for 2 with Rose, Carl, Captain Paul, and me at Paul Minio's. So the 5 of us, 2 of you and the 4 of us, dinner at Paul Minio's. But the winning bid must come from the morning show. So you want to bid high, and you want that bid to be high enough that it lasts throughout the rest of the day. So my goal is to make sure that no other show gets a bid the rest of the day. And it's so big at 10 o'clock that it carries the day for the rest of the station.
I mean, you can be sniped by $1, so bid big.
Yes, that is the whole idea. All the money, all of the money, every single nickel, every single penny, even though we don't believe in the penny anymore, will go to support the St. Louis Men's Group Against Cancer. And this is part of the kickoff to the auction that starts tomorrow. So that is the plan. Shannon Kingston going to join us in 10 minutes, talk about this ongoing situation with the Navy. There was another ship that, imagine being at sea with no power and no running water for 4 days. Oh, my goodness. We'll get into that with Shannon Kingston. And then Peter Harlambous has this unbelievable story. 14 arrested former and current Penn State students, along with a dad who was arrested for getting, packaging, cutting, and then selling to Penn State students, which it wasn't just, I don't know anything about cocaine, but it wasn't just let's go to New York and get a couple of somethings of cocaine. It was literally like Crockett and Tubbs in Miami Vice, where they're bringing back, bags of cocaine and then having to cut it and bag it so that the pledges to earn their spots, part of hazing, had to cut the cocaine. An unbelievable story. Peter Harlambos got that at 7:35. Randy Carricker is going to talk this BMW Championship, the Blues, and Mizzou football is right around the corner, right? We're inside a month of Mizzou football. And then Ben Barnett with Timberline Tree Care is going to be joining us at 8:50.
He said he's going to bring you jelly.
I talked to him yesterday. Yeah, he called me yesterday. So we'll get into that. What?
To get your donut order?
No, he called me about something else.
Oh.
Yeah.
When you come tomorrow, you better bring.
I was, yes.
Bear claw.
I didn't say you better. I just said,
it would be nice.
We would prefer, Rose would prefer this.
What?
You want to come on the show? Little donuts might not be a bad idea. Ben Barnett's such a good guy.
Yes.
He's such a good dude. I mean, such a good dude. And he should be on a Brawny commercial. The man is a walking lumberjack.
He is.
You know what? No, in all seriousness, if I was a Hollywood producer or I was a producer of like the HGTV, Ben Barnett would have his own show.
100%.
The shows they put on, this guy climbed.
That's the whole reason a lot of women watch these, tiny, whatever, because the lumberjacks.
Yeah. I mean, the guy climbs trees like Spider-Man, and just the whole story of cutting down trees and the video. Go to his website, the video Timberline Tree Care website. He's got videos of his guys that have had these GoPros on their heads. You get vertigo looking at these videos and how they're out on a limb and they're cutting the limb off, and it's crazy.
You ever watch those lumberjack contests or whatever, where
I went to one in Alaska.
Did you? Wow. Right? Yeah, where they're like cutting down trees as
they stand on them.
Yeah, they
and
stand
cut
on
them.
the thing and cut, and like it's impressive.
Yeah, it's crazy. No, if I was running this place, Ben Barnett would have a TV show.
Yes, that's a good call.
Yeah, from the Country Club Car Wash text line, going from Penn State to the state pen.
Oh yeah,
interesting.
Wait, what did the dad have to do with all of this?
He was one of the leaders.
The dad was involved with it somehow.
I can't imagine how anything would go wrong with that plan.
And he's a lawyer.
Fantastic.
Dad's a lawyer.
Not anymore.
The Sigma Chi's messed up when they got the pledges involved, silly rabbit. Rule number 1, never trust the pledges. Okay.
Didn't they outlaw hazing like years and years and years ago?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but that, just because they also outlawed murder years ago, too.
Good point.
Yeah, as usual. 7:14 here in Big 550 KTRS. Let's check in with Captain Paul, St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center.
McGraw, despite the rain, we are accident-free. 64 West is jammed, though, from Illinois 159 to 255. That's where the 64 West closure starts and continues to 15th Street in East St. Louis. Drivers are advised to take 255 north to westbound 5570. 270 north is crowded between Big Bend and Manchester, and 6455 west is slow coming in from Illinois from Tudor to the Poplar Street Bridge. This traffic report is brought to you by Fielder Electric. See what everyone is saying about the pros at Fielder Electric. Whether it's a new build or a 100-year-old home, Fielder Electric has you covered. From the KTRS St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. woodsbasementsystems.com.
I'm meteorologist Chance Koch with your first alert forecast, tracking scattered showers and storms throughout the rest of the remaining morning hours. This afternoon could see some isolated showers and storms popping up towards the late afternoon, early evening hours. A few stronger wind gusts going to be possible south of the metro area. Then into Thursday, we're drying up. That'll last throughout the remainder of the week into the weekend for the most parts. Temperatures back towards mid-80s. A spot shower going to be possible early Saturday morning. We dry out pretty quickly. Partly sunny skies. Looking for a beautiful weekend ahead. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chance Koch for the Big 550 KTRS.
Let's talk Dr. Joe, STLMedWeightLoss.com, STLMedWeightLoss.com. That's Dr. Joe. That's all you need to know. Dr. Joe has had patients who've lost 20 pounds, 40 pounds, 60 pounds. He's had patients that have lost 100 pounds. It's a little bit of work. It's not a magic pill, but these GLP-1s go a long way in helping people get back in the right way. And all you need to do is go to STLMedWeightLoss.com, check out the website, and then there's a phone number on that website. Call Dr. Joe and make an appointment. Within 24 to 48 hours, once you're approved, then he'll start sending the medicine right to your front door. And it's simple, it's private, and it works. It's as simple as that. Dr. Joe is your go-to. He has introductory prices as low as $200. He's got 6-month plans starting at $299 per month. Locked in 6 months, any dosage. Gives you a good 6-month runway to start losing weight and feeling better. It's time. You've put it off long enough. It's time. Call Dr. Joe, STLMedWeightLoss.com.
This is Mariah, third generation at Newsteaders Fine Jewelry. Buying an engagement ring can be intimidating. At Newsteaders, we ensure complete understanding of your purchase. We offer a choice in both lab and mine-grown diamonds and are able to work with any budget. Let our family help educate you on your choice at Big Ben and Doherty Ferry or at wowdiamonds.com.
John Beal Roofing has been proudly serving homeowners and businesses in the St. Louis metro area on both sides of the river in Missouri and Illinois for over 3 generations. A dependable roof begins with a team you can count on. And that's exactly what you get with John Beal Roofing. Recognized as one of Roofing Contractor Magazine's top 100 roofing companies, John Beal Roofing offers 24/7 emergency service and industry-leading warranties, including a lifetime workmanship warranty for total peace of mind. From upgrading an aging roof or completing a full replacement, the team at John Beal Roofing delivers solutions that are built to code, built to last, and handled with expert care. John Beal also responds quickly with reliable storm damage services backed by decades of experience and 24/7 emergency support. Get started today for expert service and a free, no obligation estimate by calling 1-800-NEW-ROOF. That's 1-800-NEW-ROOF.
Most people think if I name my husband as beneficiary, everything's going to be okay, and that's not necessarily true.
I'm Scott Garcia with Premier Estate and Income Planning.
What am I doing taking care of people after somebody has passed and all the mess that comes with that?
And I'm Jennifer Cermak, Chief Counsel and Estate Planning Attorney of Premier Estate and Income Planning.
No longer is the attorney the gatekeeper to your lives.
Let us show you how to protect your assets, avoid probate, and retire with confidence.
Having an estate plan could be the most important document you could ever have.
The Premier Income and Estate Planning Show, this Saturday at 4 and this Sunday morning at 7 on the Big 550 KTRS.
Hi, it's Julie Buck to tell you about a trusted family business that I've been working with for years, Easter Fence and Deck. Chuck Easter and his family have been the go-to fence and deck company in the St. Louis area for more than 70 years. And when it comes to sunrooms, Easter Fence and Deck offers the top-of-the-line Better Living sunrooms that are absolutely spectacular. When it comes to fences, decks, and sunrooms, I would invite you to do what my family has done for years and trust the family-owned Easter Fence and Deck online at easterfence.com.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now at Mattress Firm, save up to $700 on Tempur-Pedic, plus get a $300 instant gift. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
At Maryville University, we power dreams, not just degrees. For nearly 150 years, we've empowered graduates to build successful careers. At Maryville, expect a rigorous, technology-driven, mentor-inspired education in a diverse and inclusive learning environment. We help you take it to the next level, no matter what field you choose. Now is the time to turn your ambition into action and transform your dream into reality. Start your journey at maryville.edu.
If you're from St. Louis, you likely have a Maggie O'Brien story. Maggie O'Brien's has become an iconic local hotspot for St. Louis sports, holiday parties, corporate and private events in downtown St. Louis for food and fun with distinctive Irish flair. Do check out their location in Sunset Hills. Maggie O's.
McGraw Millhaven on KTRS.
All right, the U.S. Navy's been in the news quite a bit. Now comes another story of a Navy ship somewhere in the South China Sea that had some harrowing issues. Shannon Kingston, ABC News, joins us to talk about it. Shannon, what happened?
Right, there's more trouble at sea, and this comes after reports of a massive power failure aboard a naval destroyer that was operating in the South China Sea late last month. Now, that power failure left the ship and its crew without any drinking water, working toilets, or air conditioning for at least 4 days last month. It all just adds to concern that the Navy is under too much pressure as it's juggling conflicts on multiple fronts and doing a lot to execute the Trump administration's military and diplomatic strategic goals.
It was down for 4 days. How did they fix it? Do we know?
That's right. This ship is called the USS Benfold, and it was traveling with a larger carrier group. Now, other ships in that strike group were able to help out a little bit. They were able to provide meals to the crew of the Benfold, some water, other basic necessities. And eventually, the crew was taken to port in the Philippines. The ship has been under maintenance in Japan as well. We don't know so much about the future of the Benfold, though. It was supposed to be traveling to the Middle East to relieve the other strike group that's been stationed there for most of the year. But its future now very uncertain, as the Navy is not answering very many questions about this incident.
Yeah, was the ship towed to Subic Bay in the Philippines?
Initially, yes. Now, we do know it later was transferred for additional maintenance, but the picture here is still coming into clarity.
Yeah. How many soldiers were on board, and were they all able to get off successfully and then at least have the basic functions of survival on the other ships, or were there soldiers that had to stay on the ship?
Well, there were several hundred aboard. We don't know exactly what their trajectory was following what the Navy is calling an engineering casualty that involved the ship's generators. But the Navy has said that there were no casualties, no injuries aboard. So that is good news. But exactly what they faced, still unknown.
Interesting. Shannon Kingston, ABC News, State Department correspondent. Thanks, Shannon. Have a good day.
Thank you.
You got it. Yeah. Man, feel for those soldiers, man. They're living on a ship, and all of a sudden, no food, no toilet, and you're out in the middle of the South China Sea. That is a bad week.
Did you watch that documentary on Netflix about the cruise ship?
No.
Similar.
No, I did not watch.
With a similar issue.
Yes, I can only imagine. Did you do your homework and watch
No.
the Cane Mutiny?
Not yet. It's on my list right here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, watch Cane Mutiny.
I'm busy. My life is insanely busy. My dance card is full constantly. I don't know if I'm going to have time.
You're gonna have to make time. You're gonna have to make time. You're gonna have to make time.
I watched Poldark yesterday.
Yeah. You're not that busy. Okay. What is Poldark?
Oh my gosh.
It was originally on Masterpiece.
It's a like a British time period.
He was an explorer.
He owns a mine and all the trials and tribulations that go on in Cornwall. And let me just say real quick, the scenery is gorgeous, and I like the concept. They walk everywhere. I mean, obviously, because but like the idea that you're walking in this big open field and you just randomly run into somebody else and the drama ensues.
All
it's great. I recommend it.
All right. Look, that's fine. Now watch the Cane Mutiny. That is your homework.
Carl, did we figure out where I can watch it?
Yes.
YouTube.
No, that's right. It was on YouTube with ads.
Okay. Yeah, it's YouTube for free.
Done.
Can't make it any easier for you.
All right.
Cane Mutiny.
Cane, K-A-N-E.
And your goal,
K-A-I-N?
your goal is to ask, the question I'll ask you is, who ate the strawberries?
Okay.
It's got to be the cook. It's got to be the cook.
So it's not the cook?
725 here, Big 550 KTRS. We're of a generation that we only know the name Humphrey Bogart. Very few people have seen Casablanca. Very few people have seen the Maltese Falcon.
I thought you saw it in the theater. Didn't you win it?
No, I did not see it in the theater. But the Cane Mutiny is one of those where you're like, this Humphrey Bogart. There's a reason why people are talking about it. The reason why Humphrey Bogart's Humphrey Bogart.
Is that Here's Looking at You, kid?
Yes. Yeah, that's Casablanca.
Is it? All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is actually a really good movie.
It is.
Humphrey Bogart.
Yeah, with Ingrid Bergman. That's a really good movie. All right, here's the deal. The bidding has stalled at $750. It's the ultimate sports package, and it's a value of $1,500. It's all part of the St. Louis Men's Group Against Cancer kickoff. We're going to do that all tomorrow, but we thought we'd prime the pump a little bit and auction off the ultimate sports package. 2 tickets to the BMW Championship on Friday, to the soccer game, to the Mizzou football home opener, the Blues game, Mizzou game, SLU game, St. Louis Ambush game, Battlehawk game, and 2 tickets to the opening weekend next spring with the Cardinals. And if the winning bid comes from the morning show, we will take 2 of you, along with 4 of us, to John Minio's for a lovely dinner and a sort of, a meet and greet, if you will. So there you go. But the winning bid must come from the show. Right now, the current bid is at $750.
You really set a high standard. I mean, nobody can top this. No other show can add their own and have it be any more enticing.
Well, that's the whole idea.
Well done.
727 here, Big 550 KTRS. Larry Thornton, Mr. Thornton, we have dubbed him, she's Denise the Menace, and he is Mr. Wilson. And the 2 of them are in cahoots. Can I go to Mr. Thornton's house? Yeah, she can go. You see the streak across the street and right over to Mr. Thornton's house. And now they're buying like after dinner popsicles for her. Can I go over to Mr. Thornton's and get a popsicle? Yeah, she can go over to Mr. Thornton's and get a popsicle. Cat out of a cannon, right over there. No second questions. It's truly very, man, what a great family. And yes, he's in charge of windows and has been in charge of windows in St. Louis for 38 years. If you're looking for windows, if you're looking for doors, you have lots of options out there. Why you would go with somebody who's going to charge you more, I don't know, but you certainly have that option. I would go to Larry Thornton and his son, Joe, who run the window store. They've got a wonderful reputation for customer service, wonderful reputation for doing it right, a wonderful reputation of having the best price in town, the best windows, the best doors, the best style, the best design, and their craftsmanship and their commitment to doing it right is unmatched. So if you need windows and you need doors, and maybe a popsicle after dinner. 314-739-0002. 314-739-0002 or WSWindow.net. 728. Let's go back to the newsroom. Here's Rose Dalton.
This newscast is brought to you by Ryan Raphael, the Medicare Man. The Justice Department is defending its prosecution of former FBI Director James Comey, saying there's no serious dispute that a social media post of seashells he made could be understood as a threat against President Donald Trump. Prosecutors on Tuesday also called into question Comey's account that he found the seashells in the numerical arrangement 8647 while walking on a North Carolina beach. A former senior advisor to infectious disease expert Dr. Anthony Fauci pleaded guilty Tuesday to plotting to conceal federal records related to research on the origins of the deadly COVID-19 pandemic. Dr. David Morins pleaded guilty to conspiring to defraud the U.S. government, a felony punishable by a maximum prison sentence of 5 years. In local headlines, construction is underway for 40 new homes in North St. Louis. Habitat for Humanity broke ground along Evans Avenue for the Framing 40 Futures development yesterday. And it's back to class for another Metro East school district. Students in the Edwardsville School District begin the first day of school today. Are you or a family member turning 65? Are you happy with your current plan? For the right plan, call the Medicare Man, Ryan Raphael, at 314-368-6808. 72 degrees. Time now is 7:30. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Hi, it's Frank Cusimano inviting you to join me for the Press Box, brought to you by Control Option, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. We're going to interview some of the biggest names in sports and have our opening monologue. That's the Press Box, brought to you by Control Option, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. right here on the Big 550 KTRS, the talk of St. Louis.
From the Country Club Car Wash text line, how many times an hour are you going to hawk these sports tickets? Do you not have anything else planned for today's show? And then the next one, the bid has gone from $750 to $900. Holy mackerel. $900 for the ultimate sports package. Text your bid to 84126. 100% of the proceeds goes to the St. Louis Men's Group Against Cancer. At 7:30, check in with Captain Paul. St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Take it away, Captain Paul.
McGraw, an accident on 70 East at Union is off on the left shoulder. 64 West is jammed from Illinois 159 to 255. That's where the 64 West closure starts, and it continues to 15th Street in East St. Louis. Drivers are advised to take 255 north to westbound 5570. 64 East slows down around 170. 64 West is busy from Hampton to Clayton Skinker. 270 north crowded from 44 up to Manchester. And 6455 West is a little slow coming in from Illinois from Tudor to the Poplar Street Bridge. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Let's try Boardwalk Hardwood Floors. Boardwalk Hardwood is where you want to go for all of your hardwood flooring needs. Boardwalk Hardwood. They've got their warehouse sale going on right now. Now, what does that mean exactly? Well, the Boardwalk warehouse sale is every year they clean the inventory out, and every year they cut their prices. They're already ridiculously low prices, even more. So custom, already in stock. Yeah, these are beautiful, gorgeous hardwood floors. The selection is unmatched. The price is unmatched. And it's you and I are the benefit. They have 4 area locations. Boardwalk Hardwood, big sponsors of just about everything St. Louis, big supporters of St. Louis charities. 4 area locations. They work with interior designers. They work with homeowners. They'll work with anybody. They have to clear out last year's inventory to make ready for this year's inventory, and we are the beneficiary. So go to any one of their 4 locations. Their warehouse sale is on right now, and you can buy it now, and then when you're ready for the wood in, say, 4, 5, 6 months, you can then pick it up. So they will hold on to it for you. Boardwalk Hardwood, 4 area locations, boardwalkhardwood.com.
Have you been hurt in a crash or on the job? Call Brown & Brown now for a free consultation. 314-333-3333. That's 314-333-3333.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
When you pay for tree work, you want to be sure you're getting the most for your hard-earned money. That's why you should always use the ISA certified arborist at River City Tree Service in Baldwin, Missouri. Hi, I'm Steve with River City Tree Service, and we've been the go-to tree service since 2008. Tree removal, tree trimming, storm damage, deadwood removal, stump grinding, and more. Give River City Tree Service a call for all your tree service needs at 314-270-8071. That's 314-270-8071. River City Tree Service.
One thing, I try to do is not think about all the money I have to spend. But sometimes it goes through your head and you think, I got to buy this, I got to spend money on that. But the money that you spent on your house is probably the biggest single purchase you've ever made. So it makes sense to protect it. And you know what? There might be things going on up top there on the roof that you can't see. Allen Roofing can. They don't even have to go up there. They could send some drones up to have a look, find out the problem, give a diagnosis, sit down with you and say, what shall we do from here to protect that asset of yours that you spent all that money on? It only makes sense, whether it's a roof, whether it's siding, tuck pointing, anything to do with the outside of your house. They will help you protect it. Find them online at aroofing.net.
Tune in Saturday 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for Street Talk and Retirement with Jeff and Aaron Lapidus for an intimate understanding of the retirement needs you may soon be facing. Live from Studio 550, this is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
Natalie Harp's story is getting more and more interesting with President Trump. Earlier in the week, John Ossoff, the senator from Georgia, said during a campaign rally a number of things about President Trump, but also made reference to his personal assistant, this Natalie Harp, which has now sort of thrown her into the spotlight, if you will. Natalie Harp is his personal assistant, which every president has. But apparently, according to new reports from CNN, President Donald Trump's top aide, Natalie Harp, once jumped into the trunk of an SUV after a screaming match with Trump staffers who told her that there was no room for her in the motorcade. Oh, 736 here, Big 550 KTRS. I'm sorry. I'll leave that story for another moment. We got to go to the phones. We've got Peter Harlambos. This Penn State story has run a lot of attention. I just forgot all about it. Peter Harlambos, thanks for putting up with me. Thanks for checking in.
No worries. I'm interested in the human printer story, too.
Penn State. A drug ring arrested on the campus of Penn State. What's the story?
Yeah, we got 13 former and current Penn State students who were arrested with felonies, misdemeanor charges related to this massive cocaine trafficking operation. 6 of them are current students. We understand that one of the ringleaders, Augustino Abatiello, he surrendered yesterday after originally failed to appear for his initial arraignment. They allege that he was at the top of this organization, that he was bringing in kilos of cocaine from New York and Philadelphia. He was working with his frat brothers to cut and distribute the cocaine. He even involved pledges as part of a hazing ritual, according to prosecutors. He's now charged with felony corruption organizations and conspiracy charges.
Do we have any idea how much cocaine they were bringing back on campus?
We understand that it was to the point where they were spending about $22,000 at a time to buy about 1 kilo, bring it back to campus, and then cut it and bag it and distribute it across campus. They don't think that this was extending beyond the Penn State campus. It was kind of just for students. Like you said, there's a huge amount of students there, like 90,000 students at Penn State, so a big potential base of customers. And apparently this went on for about 2 years. The allegations stem from 2023 to 2024. The investigation initially began after they had a confidential informant buy some drugs from one of the fellow ringleaders, Thomas Robinson, who began cooperating with investigators.
You don't just go to the street corner in New York or Philadelphia and buy a kilo of cocaine. So this clearly they had some connection higher up the food chain.
That's right. I mean, the volumes we're talking about here are astonishing. The complaint itself does not go into much detail about where they were sourcing the cocaine. They just kind of described what appears to be this kind of rise to prominence on campus as the premier drug dealers at Penn State. Initially, these 2 ringleaders were just apparently selling to friends. Then they realized how much money there was in all of this, selling to the thousands of students on campus. And then this kept growing and growing to the point in which they had more than a dozen frat brothers participating in this thing, that they were, again, involving the pledges somehow, and basically were the main cocaine distributors at Penn State.
There's also a father involved, was there not?
That's right. One of the fathers, one of the defendants, was also charged with obstructing and tampering with evidence in the case. He allegedly purchased a safe where some of the drugs and money were stored. Prosecutors allege that that was in some way tampering with the evidence. He's actually a big-time lawyer, so we'll see how that works out. But that kind of goes to the nature of the kids here. These aren't necessarily people coming from poverty or, doing this because of need necessarily. They're all pretty, at least the 2 ringleaders appear to be coming from relatively wealthy backgrounds. One of them actually lives not too far from me on Long Island in a nice neighborhood called Westbury, a $1.5 million house. Also went to the same private Catholic school as you did.
Interesting. Peter Harlambos, what is Penn State saying?
Penn State says that they have no tolerance for these kind of things, that they're investigating all of this, that they suspended one of the 2 fraternities involved. The other fraternity was already operating without an affiliation to the campus. They say, Penn State says in a statement, quote, "We're horrified by these serious allegations against current and former students," and saying that they will continue the investigative process, cooperate with investigators, and do disciplinary action on their own side.
Interesting. You notice how these aren't from Manhasset, right? They're from the mean streets of Westbury. That's a whole other issue, Peter Harlambos.
Westbury kids, the Chaminade kids, can't trust them.
Peter Harlambos, ABC News. Thanks, Peter. Have a good day.
Thank you.
You got it. 740 here, Big 550 KTRS. What's sad about this is, and sad reality is that this probably could, maybe not to this extent, but this could probably have been any university in America. When I was in college, I've said this before, and people get angry with me when I say this. It's not like I invented this, but when I was in college, I don't know about you guys, but when I was in college, I couldn't do it today because you just don't have that same network of people you know. But you live in a dorm room or a dorm, you got, you have access to thousands of kids. Everybody knows everybody. And if you wanted something, you called somebody and they dropped it off for you. You could call somebody in 2 or 3 phone calls. You could get pretty much any drug you wanted in college.
You knew somebody who knew somebody.
Yeah. And so that was the dirty little secret. So, unfortunately, this kilo of cocaine that was being dealt on the Penn State campus, as tragic as it is, these people who want to do the drugs, they're going to get it from somewhere. So if they don't get it from I'm not advocating anything other than just saying it's yes, it's terrible that these kids did it, but the bigger problem is that there was a market for it on campus. That's the tragedy of it. And these cocaine users are probably going to go somewhere else to get their drugs. So even though you took away this terrible, terrible story, unfortunately, somebody else is going to take its place.
Yeah, there are multiple stories like other colleges that have had the same, OxyContin, all that kind of stuff. Where there's just a huge ring because it's like shooting fish in a barrel.
Yeah,
it's like the perfect
you have
audience.
thousands of kids, which means thousands of customers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a terrible story. 742 here, Big 550 KTRS.
Calling all Metro East residents. The weather may be unpredictable, but that doesn't mean your home comfort has to be. From emergency heating and cooling emergencies and repairs to new systems and yearly maintenance checks, you can feel confident that you're ready for whatever Mother Nature throws at you with the help from the friends at Viviano. Get quality, reliable service every time, any season. Go to their website, vivianoair.com. That's vivianoair.com. Train, the most reliable name in heating and cooling around. It's hard to stop a train.
Look at our alums, the contributions that they have made throughout industries in the St. Louis region.
Terry Frears, a graduate of the University of Missouri, St. Louis.
UMSL is embedded in the fabric of the St. Louis community. We're hands-on, and when our students graduate, they are definitely career ready, but maybe more importantly, they're career confident.
More is what moves us. Find your more at more.umsl.edu.
I trust Pella Windows and Doors of St. Louis to help improve my home when it matters most. It's not just Pella's high-quality windows and doors. It's the local experts who know the St. Louis area so well. For a limited time, get 20% off Pella projects or 0% no payments, no interest if paid in full within 24 months. Call 833-87-PELLA or visit pella.com/radio to learn more. 833-87-PELLA or pella.com/radio. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
As summer winds down, vacations come to an end, the kids head back to school, and schedules ramp up, let Gingham's Homestyle Restaurant do the cooking for you. So whether it's the start of a busy day, come grab a great breakfast, the best in St. Louis according to the Post-Dispatch, or wrapping things up after a long day, let Gingham's serve you a terrific home-style dinner. And don't forget our fabulous desserts. We're open 24 hours a day, so no matter when you need us, Gingham's is open and ready to serve you. Gingham's Homestyle Restaurant in St. Charles, 636-946-0266 or ginghamsrestaurant.com.
Tune in to the Frank and Jill Show on Thursday mornings at 10:35 to catch Everything You Need to Know by Jeff, powered by Banner Construction. Find out what's going on in St. Louis and where St. Louisans go when they head out of town. Thursdays with Frank and Jill.
The Big 550.
KTRS St. Louis.
St. Louis Classic Company Traffic Center. Here is Captain Paul Kopsky.
McGraw, an accident on 70 East at 141 is causing stop-and-go traffic back to 94. A crash on 70 East at Union is still off on the left shoulder. 64 West is jammed from Illinois 159 to 255. That's where the 64 West closure starts, and it continues to 15th Street in East St. Louis. 64 East bogs down from Boone's Crossing to Timberlake Manor and between McKnight and Big Bend. 64 West busy from Hampton to McCausland, and 270 North is heavy from 55 all the way up to Manchester. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
I'm First Alert 4 Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton. Scattered thunderstorms are likely through Wednesday morning. Some of these can produce some downpours and gusty winds. A low of 71, then a high of 81 in the afternoon. It's cooler because of all the clouds and rain, as we still have a chance for an isolated shower or thunderstorm later in the day. The more widespread heavy rain being in the morning, though. Thursday, partly cloudy with a high right around 85. That's the latest from the First Alert 4 Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton for the Big 550 KTRS.
Let's talk Morelli tuck pointing, because St. Louis is filled with brick and stone and mortar, and yeah, it looks beautiful. However, at some point, the water wins, and the water starts to do damage to the brick and the mortar, and that's when you need a tuck pointer, and that's when you call Morelli. Morelli is your go-to. They're the gold standard. Chimneys, walkways, porches, foundations, anything brick or stone that needs repair, Morelli is your go-to. It can't be any easier. John Morelli comes from a long line of masons. And the great story is he came to somebody's house, looked at the steps that needed to be redone, and said, I think my grandfather put these in 50 years ago. What a great story. It shows you their commitment and their generational expertise. John Morelli's good peeps, and they can't make it any easier. Morelli Tuck Pointing. Call them, text them, email them. Check out the website, MorelliTuckPointing.com. They'll put you in the queue. They'll get it done, and you don't have to worry about it any longer. So for all of your tuck pointing needs, Morelli is the name to remember. Mirelli, Morelli, or MorelliTuckPointing.com.
I'm Bob Hardcastle. Listen to my Money Talk radio program every Sunday morning from 8 to 9 a.m. on the Big 550, where we discuss your money in an easy-to-understand manner. We have interesting guests, chat about money. We try to help you feel more comfortable with your money by talking about the investment market. Join me. I'm Bob Hardcastle.
Money Talk, Sunday morning at 8 on the Big 550 KTRS.
You're selling your home and I want to buy it. This is Mike Robinson with Robank Properties, and I am ready to pay top dollar for your home. No contingencies, no inspections, no monkey business. I buy your home no matter the condition or location, and you walk away with cash. Call me, Mike Robinson, at 314-283-0867, 314-283-0867, or at robankproperties.com. That's ROBANG properties.com.
Hello, this is Zipper Zeppa hosting the Mater Media Speaker Series. Oh, we're bringing some big heavy hitters, Bill O'Reilly, Cardinal Timothy Dolan, St. Louis's own John O'Leary, and more. You can ask your question when you get a series pass and show up at Lindenwood University for this scintillating series. 25% discount for KTRS listeners. Go to matermedia.org/KTRS. That's matermedia.org/KTRS.
Summer isn't over until you've experienced the 2026 DuQuoin State Fair. Join the fun August 28th through September 7th in DuQuoin, Illinois, with free gate admission every day. Enjoy thrilling carnival rides, mouth-watering fair food, livestock shows, family attractions, and incredible grandstand entertainment. Featuring stars like Wiz Khalifa, Tyler Hubbard, Night Ranger, Russell Dickerson, and more. Make memories the whole family will love. See the full entertainment lineup and plan your visit today at dsf.illinois.gov. That's the 2026 DuQuoin State Fair, where Illinois comes together.
The Missouri Laborers Union and their contractors build our communities. Chances are your church, school, grocery store, or gas station was built by contractors using union laborers. They take great pride in their work and accomplishments and love to go by an old project and say, I built that. The men and women of the Missouri Laborers Union and their contractors, taking pride in building our communities. Go to buildunion.com for more information. That's buildunion.com.
Hey, it's Heidi Glaus, and I want to remind you to tune in to the Heidi Glaus Show with Bob Ramsey and Josh Gilbert weekdays from 3 to 6. You don't want to miss all the fun. Plus, twice a month, we're joined by Dr. Ravi Johar, the Chief Medical Officer for United Healthcare. Dr. Johar, United Healthcare, will keep us informed and educated about everything happening in the healthcare system, plus important facts to keep us healthy. United Healthcare and the Heidi Glaus Show on the Big 550 KTRS.
Lionel Richie, live in concert. Playing at the Muni, Saturday, August 29th. Get tickets now at metrotix.com.
This is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
All right, let's get back to this Katie Harp story. Natalie Harp story. So John Ossoff mentions President Trump's personal assistant in an attack in President Trump, and then CNN asks about it, and then Trump goes ballistic, critical of Kristen Holmes. In fact, the response from the White House invokes her children and says, someday your children are going to see what a terrible, terrible person you are and sees what a terrible question you asked, all because she had the audacity to ask a question that was criticism of the White House leveled by a Democratic senator. This Natalie Harp is now John Ossoff's no fool. He knows that by mentioning her name, she's going to become front and center. Now she's going to become front page news, and that's exactly what happened. Donald Trump's top aide, Natalie Harp, now they're reporting how they call her the human printer because she walks around the President Trump with a printer and prints out anything and everything that he asks, and so they call her the human printer. And just having an aide that close to you, I mean, you're the President of the United States. You need a body man to, get your dry cleaning and to, do all your personal things. You're the President of the United States, so that's not shocking. But she's being called into question for her zealousness towards the president, including this one story. CNN's Kristen Holmes reports that her position inside Trump's inner circle has got people inside Trump's inner circle not so happy. Trump was leaving Trump Tower for New York City courthouse when aides allegedly informed Natalie Harp that there was no seat available for her. So she insisted that Trump had personally asked her to come along, prompting a screaming match in the lobby. Two sources told the network. Rather than stay behind, Natalie Harp climbed into the trunk of the SUV, according to CNN, citing two sources and a photo. There's a photo of her in the trunk of the car. CNN reported that Harp's presence at the Times annoyed senior Trump aides, particularly when advisors have sought private meetings with the president, only to find Natalie Harp in the room as well. One source told CNN that Harp has closely guarded her access to Trump and has told colleagues that she reports only to the president. There have been tensions that have been previously noted that have led some aides to try and limit her access to Trump, though those efforts have apparently done little to nothing to diminish her standing. One White House official pushed back at the complaints, telling CNN that Harp works well with most colleagues and regularly coordinates with staff on statements and other information. So there you go. They credit her with also helping out with his social media as well.
She was one of the people that went on the plane switch.
She was whisked away in the soda cart. Yes,
it was Hegseth and her and two other White House staffers.
Yes.
So she's like his personal assistant?
Yeah.
Like not really. Like, does she advise him on political matters, or she basically?
I don't know how
personal assistant.
Yeah, I mean, her official title is personal assistant.
Oh, okay.
So what she does otherwise, I don't know. I mean, if he's talking to her about what he should do with Iran, he is known to turn to strangers and say, hey, what do you think? So I don't know if he looks at her and asks her for her political advice or not, but she's apparently one of his most closest advisors if he's getting off Air Force One and going to ride in a Cessna home and he takes her with her. So, and if she's in the trunk of an SUV on the way back to Trump Tower.
That's not really a trunk.
Well, whatever it is, I wouldn't want to be stuck in there.
No.
Yeah.
I'm literally picturing it was like a Nova trunk, or like just one of those.
Not
big...
like in Goodfellas.
I mean,
that's what I pictured. Like, and they're going to the drive-in after this.
I think the 9-iron was sticking in her ribs as she was going down the spare tire and the greasy rags were over there by her feet. Those trunks were huge, man.
You could fit multiple
bodies
human beings in there.
Yeah, those trunks. When you open those trunks now, you're like, oh my goodness.
I know. Like my dad sells like a Grand Marquis or whatever. And I'm just like, the trunk alone, the trunk space.
You can fit a family of 4 in there.
I
know. It's crazy. It is crazy what you could put in that trunk.
Mm-hmm.
But those were the days,
wow,
and including your personal assistant.
Exactly.
So Natalie Harp getting her moment in the sun. We'll see how this thing turns out. But that's what you do. You drop a little breadcrumbs, and the media comes sniffing around. They wrote about her in Regime Change, but no. Once a United States senator calls her out, then the media starts asking questions. It's called pouring gasoline onto the fire. Captain Paul Kopsky, St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Take it away.
McGraw, an accident on 70 East at 141 is causing stop-and-go traffic back to 94. A crash on 70 East at Union is still off on the left shoulder. 270 North is heavy from 55 all the way up to Manchester. 64 East congested from Long Road to Chesterfield Airport Road and between Lindbergh and Big Bend. 64 West busy between Hampton and McCausland. And 64 West is also jammed from Illinois 159 to 255. That's where 64 West, the closure starts, and it continues to 15th Street in East St. Louis. This traffic report is brought to you by Stages St. Louis. Get your single tickets now for Stages St. Louis. Take a trip back to the 40s and 50s with Guys and Dolls, which runs through August 23rd. Then Stages will wrap up this year with the incredible true story of Come From Away. Call 314-821-2407 or visit stagesstlouis.org. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
72 degrees here at the Big 550 KTRS. We're going to get some rain. On and off thunderstorms throughout the rest of the day. That's the plan for today. It is 72 degrees officially here at the Big 550 KTRS. Okay, the latest bid on the Ultimate Sports Auction is $900. Here's the deal. Tomorrow is the St. Louis Men's Group Against Cancer Radiothon. And to wet your whistle, KTRS is auctioning off today the Ultimate Sports Auction Package. Here's what you get. It's a $1,500 value, 2 tickets to a Cardinals game, 2 tickets to Battlehawks, Ambush, SLU basketball, Mizzou basketball, Blues regular season, 8 rows from the ice, Mizzou football, St. Louis SC, and 2 tickets to this Sunday's final round of the BMW Championship. All of that is the one package. Make your bid to 84126. They will announce the winning bid. You have until 5:45 this evening to make a bid. Now, we've put a little salt in the wound, if you will. We've goosed it a little bit. And I have said, management doesn't know this. I might be getting into trouble by doing this, but be that as it may, what are you going to do? At this point, we're kind of stuck with each other. So if the winning bid comes from the morning show, the bid is currently $900. It's a $1,500 value, so you're still getting a great value here. If the winning bid comes from the morning show and that carries the rest of the day, Carl, Rose, McGraw, and Captain Paul will meet 2 people from the winning bid, and dinner's on us at John Minio's over there on Clayton Road and Mason. So that's the plan. But the bid has got to come from the morning show. It's not you were outbid in Carney's show and then you outbid them on Heidi's show. No. The bid by 10 o'clock has got to carry the day. And if it carries the day, you will then be treated to dinner for 2, along with the rest of us, at John Minio's, courtesy of us. All the money, every single nickel raised today for this goes to the St. Louis Men's Group Against Cancer. So text your bid to 84126. It is currently 8 o'clock here on the Big 550 KTRS.
The countdown to Mizzou Tigers football is here, and the Big 550 is your home for all the action. This is KTRS St. Louis. St. Louis. St. Louis.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. A big upset in the Florida Democratic Senate primary. ABC's Jay O'Brien says another far-left Democrat, a member of the Democratic Socialists of America, knocked off the candidate the party wanted to win.
Self-declared Democratic Socialist and State Representative Angie Nixon beating Alexander Vindman in the primary to take on Republican Senator Ashley Moody, expected to be an uphill battle for Democrats this fall. Vindman was backed by establishment party leaders, and his campaign raised $16 million. None of it was enough to beat Nixon, who joined the DSA in the middle of her campaign.
In Alaska, Republican incumbent Senator Dan Sullivan advanced to the general election, along with another candidate named Dan Sullivan. He's been accused of entering the race just to confuse voters, but he strongly denies that. New scrutiny over the U.S. military on news that another Navy ship had a major breakdown. ABC Chief Global Affairs Correspondent Martha Raddatz.
In the South China Sea last month, the Navy confirms a power failure aboard the USS Benfold left sailors without potable water, working toilets, or air conditioning for 4 days. Tugboats had to tow the Benfold to the Philippines, where sailors were provided food and lodging while the destroyer was repaired.
Several Democratic lawmakers have called for investigations following reports of deteriorating conditions aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln in the Middle East. Frustration growing in Griffith, Indiana.
We understand we're not the only ones to be affected by this terrible storm. However, we still have 3/4 of our population without power.
Griffith City Council President Rick Rifa says power for most went out a full week ago amid continuous rounds of thunderstorms. More rain in store for Indiana today. The Target turnaround continues. The retailer reporting its second straight quarter of sales gains under new CEO Michael Fidelke, a 20-year veteran with the company. Target says sales and traffic were both up at its stores. You're listening to ABC News.
I'm Jeff Zufall, Senior Tax Strategist and Wealth Advisor with Capital Advisory Group. Now, more than ever, having a tax strategy to protect and grow your wealth is an absolute must. Every Saturday, Josh Gilbert and I will discuss how you can keep what's yours, because the most important part of your wealth plan is your tax plan. That's Keep What's Yours this Saturday afternoon.
Capital Advisory Group presents Keep What's Yours with Jeff Zufall and Josh Gilbert this Saturday afternoon at 3 on the Big 550 KTRS.
Make the decision this year to upgrade your deck or patio into the special space you've always imagined. Hi, this is Dan Head from Patriot Builds, offering you a free design consultation for a beautiful sunroom, patio cover, power shade, or outdoor kitchen. Now is the perfect time to invest in comfort, beauty, and lasting value. Enjoy more light, more nature, more life in a Patriot sunroom. Call today and save 314-822-3232 or click patriotbuildsstl.com or visit our showroom at 811 South Kirkwood Road.
Mom, what do you always say? There's nothing sadder than jewelry that sits in a drawer.
That's why we are proud to offer jewelry repair on site at Newsetter's Fine Jewelry. We know that your jewelry is important to you, and we take that part of our job very seriously. Visit us at Doherty Ferry in Big Bend or learn more at wowdiamonds.com.
72 degrees at 8:03. Here's what's happening now. An arrest warrant for 2024 presidential candidate Jill Stein has been dropped after she failed to appear in court in St. Louis on Monday for an assault charge. She is now scheduled to appear in court in mid-September. The presidential candidate for the Green Party was charged with 1 count of first-degree trespassing and 1 count of fourth-degree assault stemming from a protest at Washington University. The deputy director of the Missouri Department of Corrections is getting a promotion. KTRS's Vicki Pimentel has the story.
Governor Mike Kehoe has announced that Valerie Mosley will serve as the next director of the Department of Corrections. Mosley currently serves as the deputy director and will step into her new role on October 1st. She will replace Trevor Foley, who departs to become the state's budget director. Mosley has been the deputy director since December 2023, and her responsibilities have included managing strategic planning, operational efficiency, and crisis prevention and management. Previously, she was the director of the Division of Offender Rehabilitative Services. Mosley now awaits state Senate confirmation. Vicki Pimentel, KTRS News.
PETA is offering a reward of up to $5,000 for information leading to the arrest and conviction of whomever is responsible for abandoning 4 guinea pigs on a St. Charles County highway. The guinea pigs were found by a Good Samaritan on August 9th along Old Highway N in O'Fallon during an extreme heat warning. 3 of the animals were already dead when they were found. The 4th was taken to a veterinarian and is still recovering. Anyone with information is urged to contact O'Fallon Animal Control at 636-240-3200. The St. Louis County Council has passed new restrictions on panhandling. The council voted 6-1 last night in favor of a measure outlawing what it calls aggressive soliciting. This includes intentionally touching someone without their consent or following someone to intimidate them into giving money. The ordinance also prohibits all panhandling on public transit vehicles within 15 feet of a bank entrance or ATM and between sunset and 9 a.m. It now goes to the desk of County Executive Sam Page, who vetoed broader panhandling restrictions in 2023. Attorney General Catherine Hanaway is renewing the Veterans Assistance Program through a Mizzou Law Veterans Clinic partnership. The Defenders Program was established to provide pro bono assistance to active duty service members and other eligible military personnel, combat predatory business practices targeting the military community, and offer education on consumer protection issues affecting service members. Hanaway says she encourages attorneys across the state to join and volunteer their time and expertise to support this program. A Clayton-based private equity firm is expanding its presence in the Houston area after purchasing a fire safety business. Agelis Capital has acquired Phillips Fire and Life Safety, which provides fire and life safety services for commercial properties, including fire alarm, sprinkler, and extinguisher systems throughout the Houston area. Terms of the deal were not disclosed. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist. They'll pay for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. 72 degrees. Time now is 8:06. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Okay, does the Minio's dinner include appetizers and wine? No. You get a ham sandwich and a glass of water. Of course, you're dying for some appetizers. Yes. I'll give you a glass of wine
And a dessert cart.
from the speed rack, not from the brand liquors.
You get the
It's rail only for you.
Yeah,
brown squirrel.
yeah. I'll smuggle in a bottle of Blue Nun for you. How about that? What are you? Of course, you're gonna have an appetizer. Have a little escargot while you're at it. Whatever you want. It's dinner. Who had the best? Did you have one Diet Coke or two Diet Cokes?
Have you ever been out
You
to
can have
eat?
whatever you want. Venmo me the money afterwards.
Have you ever been out to eat with someone who itemized?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Really?
Oh no. I have such a phobia, and that's exactly what it is. It's such a social anxiety over the check coming when I'm sitting at a table with multiple groups of people that I will just pick up the check for the whole table
100%.
because I can't handle the anxiety of the check sitting at the table and everybody staring at the check and not staring at the check.
I mean,
I can't do it.
I get it.
I can't do it.
It's so much easier just to be like, I got it.
And then there are times when someone says, "Do you want to go to dinner?" And I'll say no because I know the anxiety that will come when the check comes.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like buying dinner for that guy because I don't really like that guy in the first place.
Fair enough. I think that's legit. I
Yeah.
mean, it's a thing, right? Like everyone just stares at it and you're kind of like, well, and then I've read that some people are like, well, I had a slice of pizza and then maybe a couple bites of salad. So
Right.
that makes about $8.
Right. Why am I paying $12 and he's paying $11?
Are we doing this?
Yeah. No, I know.
I mean, and here's the other thing real quick, the tipping difference kind of thing. Like I say, I worked in a restaurant for a while, so I'm a crazy tipper.
You're a tip snob.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but when you're going with somebody else who's paying the bill, which, can't, it's so nice, thank you for paying, but you kind of happen to notice that they tipped really bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I kind of got one, I would never want to insult the person, but I'm also it makes me physically uncomfortable to sit at the table. You know what I mean?
So
thank you so much.
Will you check the
So
tip?
not check it. It's none of my business. And I once accidentally noticed because the friend went to the restroom or something and the thing was sitting on the table, right? He filled it out. And I just was to the point that
Where you
while
never
they
went
were
out with this guy, while you broke up with this guy.
And two, I went up to the bartender because this person was at the restroom and I handed them some money because I was just and it wasn't any, but unfortunately the person came out and saw the transaction happening and it made for one of the most uncomfortable, but I was just I thank you for paying the bill. It was very nice. And I went, and it wasn't to make you feel any kind of way, but you paid you tipped 10%. No,
Is that not enough?
Stop it.
10%. Well, that guy's got deep pockets.
Right.
We get individual checks, no problem. Not for you, but for the server who's you're with 5 people, you got to write 5 each checks. No.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. You want to make it. You don't want to. It's not.
Yeah.
That's really annoying to have to do that. Some it's easy, but
and then you're like, no, I think she had the salad. The salad's on my check.
right. And then everybody puts in money, and it's like someone is the cheapo who puts in $1.25 as a tip. I'm like, come on.
Do you ever play credit card roulette?
Yes.
What is that?
Everyone puts their credit card in the pile, and the waitress or the waiter takes the one card, and they pick up everything.
Oh, right on. That's pretty fun.
It's credit card roulette.
That's great.
Yeah. So you either get a free dinner or you got to pay for everybody.
And I told her, my name is Rose.
Yeah.
So don't pick that one.
From the Country Club Car Wash text line, $1,000 is the new bid for the St. Louis Men's Group Against Cancer. It's at $1,000. The value's at $1,500. So you're getting $1,500 worth of tickets plus dinner for two at Minio's along with the four of us. That's the deal of the century right there. Holy mackerel. So you got that. So the latest bid is $1,000. Lots of derogatory comments about Natalie Harp. Lots of negative comments about Natalie Harp. Here's somebody last hour texted in. I have a college friend who paid his way through college selling drugs. Yeah, you're not the first one. You're not the. There was a number of people who found themselves in that situation. So the bid was $750. You read a text complaining about the amount of times talking about the sports package, and then it goes to $900. That's the why you talk about the sports package, to get a higher bid. Yes, it is. So there you go.
Get it.
Separate checks are a breeze with computer systems today. For you, not for the person inputting it, but whatever.
Well, I mean, if you say that at the beginning, then yeah, like then they're prepared. But at the very end, when there's, like, actually, could you
and can we have separate checks?
Yeah,
I mean, can we have separate checks? God love you. I just can't. It's the anxiety of the whole thing. I can't do it. I can't. I will just pick up the check.
Although sometimes I will say, if they all do separate checks, the server has the chance of actually making more money. You know what I mean? Like everyone's tipping on their own, and if some people tip, I don't know, it's just,
you tip 20%, but everyone tips 25% because it's less money, and you end up making more.
I mean, if everyone, or then you just get each person's tipping individually on their own check. Could sometimes, a lot of times.
Well, when you have individual checks, then somebody might bid
correct,
tip $5, and somebody else bid $10.
Yeah,
and then you're like, oh, look at the cheapskate in the corner who only bid $5. Yeah.
Yep.
Plot thickens.
And they're judging you, by the way.
Yes,
the servers are.
Though the weirdest thing now though is when you have like a fast food restaurant or a fast casual restaurant or something, and they ask you how much for tip, and you're like, you're at the counter and you're getting me my order. Do I have to tip you when you're getting me my order?
Well, my question is, are these software programs that are, Square and all this, that are taking your credit card, the payment, is it coming with, like, that's part of the option is the tip, right? Because it's like, you're literally ordering at a kiosk,
right?
Doing basically everything yourself,
right? And
then it asks you if you want to tip.
Yeah.
Now I heard some places that the prices will, if you choose at the end that you're not tipping, oddly, all of a sudden the prices of your original order will go up.
Really?
Yeah. So like your burger is all of a sudden 50 cents more expensive.
Interesting. It's still cheaper than tipping the guy $1, whatever. But like you go to Subway and you have a sandwich at Subway, and then you're supposed to tip. Like, really? I'm supposed to tip the person? Where does the job come in, and where does the tip come in?
Well, and that's what's unfortunate, because it's like I said, servers only make that's the deal, right? Like they only make $2 an hour. It's widely known that the servers,
sure, that's
why the tipping is so important,
right?
But it's gotten so, and they're giving you all the attention. Like as a massage therapist, like we relied a lot on tips. But you think I'm giving you that service for the entire hour, and my attention is totally on you. That's a service.
I get it, but I don't tip.
The TCBY girl at the counter because you made your entire thing and she waited. And you're like, why am I tipping?
I don't tip the checkout girl at the supermarket.
Right. I don't. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm just thinking these.
Why is their salary commensurate, but the server's not? Right. When I'm getting something from the deli counter in the supermarket, I'm not tipping the guy $5 for getting me my ham.
Right.
That's why they're union.
Because they're making
that's a whole other
better
issue.
hourly wages.
Well, I understand that, but I'm paying for it somewhere along the line. Yeah. 8:15, St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Here's Captain Paul.
McGraw, the latest is an accident on 64 East before the Boone Bridge, causing stop-and-go traffic back to Route K. An accident on 70 East at 141 has been moved to the shoulder, with traffic still slow back to 94. 270 North is heavy from 55 all the way up to Manchester. 64 East congested around Clarkson and from McKnight to Big Bend. 64 West is busy from Hampton to Big Bend. And 64 West is also jammed from Illinois 159 to 255. That's where the 64 West closure starts, and it continues to 15th Street in East St. Louis. This traffic report is brought to you by Dents Express. Drive time can be hectic with traffic, weather, and fender benders. Dents Express can help with hassle-free dent removal, minor collision repair, and hail damage repair. Free evaluations, and they take care of the insurance paperwork. They've got 2 locations on Manchester and Baldwin and in St. Charles. DentsExpressSTL.com. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
I'm meteorologist Shane Scotch with your first alert forecast, tracking scattered showers and storms throughout the rest of the remaining morning hours. This afternoon could see some isolated showers and storms popping up towards the late afternoon, early evening hours. A few stronger wind gusts going to be possible south of the metro area. Then into Thursday, we're drying up. That'll last throughout the remainder of the week into the weekend for the most parts. Temperatures back towards mid-80s. A spot shower going to be possible early Saturday morning. We dry out pretty quickly. Partly sunny skies. Looking for a beautiful weekend ahead. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chance Scotch for the Big 550 KTRS.
Let's talk Johnny Londoff Chevrolet, because if you're looking for a vehicle, look no further than Johnny Londoff Chevrolet. Do you know that in the last 85 years, there's been a Londoff selling vehicles to St. Louisans here in town? 85 years. Do you think after 85 years, do you think their reputation has been earned? Yeah, I would say so. Every time you pull off the building and lot with a Johnny Londoff car, you know that you're going to get a great car. You know you're going to get it at a great price, and you know that they're going to stand behind that vehicle. Anything happens to it, the service department's right there. You know that when they sell it to you, it's going to be a good quality car. It's going to check out and be safe, and so that's why Johnny Londoff has the name and the reputation built up over 85 years. If you are looking for a brand new Chevy, can I recommend my friend Johnny Londoff Chevrolet? They've got great SUVs and Silverados and Trax and everything else from soup to nuts coming off the Chevy assembly line. Maybe even a brand new Corvette. Okay, maybe a pre-owned Corvette. Yeah, they got a whole bunch of those at the Autoplex, the Johnny Londoff Autoplex, Highway 70 and Highway 79. Sales, yeah, they need a car, you got it. You want to trade in something, they'll give you top dollar for your trade-in. Maybe you just want to, maybe you don't need a trade-in, maybe you just want to get rid of a car. Yeah, call Johnny Londoff, he'll give you a good price for it. Service department, 2 locations, any make, any model, no matter where you bought the car, Johnny Londoff and the service department will take care of you. And then, of course, financing. They'll give you the best financing deal, whether you got great credit or maybe you got a couple of hiccups along the way. Johnny Londoff Chevrolet. 2 locations, 1 great family, 85 years, going strong, Londoff.com. Together, let's drive. Johnny Londoff Chevrolet.
The official birthplace of the toasted ravioli is
Mama's on the Hill.
And Mama's on the Hill serves the best in town. Mama's has been a mainstay on the Hill for decades and is still a family-run restaurant serving up great Italian food in a fun atmosphere. Open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner, and right in the heart of the Hill at Edwards and Bischoff. Delicious catering and party rooms, too.
Mama's on the Hill.
Make reservations at 314-776-3100 and 24/7 at mamasonthehill.com.
One thing, I try to do is not think about all the money I have to spend. But sometimes it goes through your head and you think, I got to buy this, I got to spend money on that. But the money that you spent on your house is probably the biggest single purchase you've ever made. So it makes sense to protect it. And you know what? There might be things going on up top there on the roof that you can't see. Allen Roofing can. They don't even have to go up there. They can send some drones up to have a look, find out the problem, give a diagnosis, sit down with you and say, what shall we do from here to protect that asset of yours that you spent all that money on. It only makes sense, whether it's a roof, whether it's siding, tuck pointing, anything to do with the outside of your house. They will help you protect it. Find them online at aroofing.net.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now at Mattress Firm, save up to $700 on Tempur-Pedic, plus get a $300 instant gift. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Fielder Electric Services has been serving the St. Louis area since 1987. Whether it's commercial, residential, or industrial, the licensed professionals at Fielder Electric will have you taken care of. Give them a call or visit them at fielderelectricservices.com.
Summer isn't over until you've experienced the 2026 DuCoin State Fair. Join the fun August 28th through September 7th in DuCoin, Illinois, with free gate admission every day. Enjoy thrilling carnival rides, mouth-watering fair food, livestock shows, family attractions, and incredible grandstand entertainment. Featuring stars like Wiz Khalifa, Tyler Hubbard, Night Ranger, Russell Dickerson, and more. Make memories the whole family will love. See the full entertainment lineup and plan your visit today at dsf.illinois.gov. That's the 2026 DuCoin State Fair, where Illinois comes together.
If you're from St. Louis, you likely have a Maggie O'Brien story. Maggie O'Brien's has become an iconic local hotspot for St. Louis sports, holiday parties, corporate and private events in downtown St. Louis for food and fun with distinctive Irish flair. Do check out their location in Sunset Hills. Maggie O's.
Tune in Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for Straight Talk and Retirement with Jeff and Aaron Lapidus for an intimate understanding of the retirement needs you may soon be facing. Now back to McGraw, presented by Londoff Chevrolet, the Londoff Autoplex, and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
Cardinals keep winning. Talk to Randy about that coming up here in about 10 minutes or so. And then Ben Barnett at 8:50. Talk some wood with him. From the Country Club Car Wash text line, we've got a new total for you. $1,050. And they'll bring the wine. However, I don't think that they don't have a corking fee at that John Minio. So there you go. Here's the deal. It is the St. Louis Men's Group Against Cancer Radiothon tomorrow. And the Ultimate Sports Package is being auctioned off right now through 5:45. However, we want the winning bid to come from this show. So you have to bid it up as high as humanly possible till 10 o'clock. And then hope like heck no one outbids you. Because if you are the winning bid, well, not only you will receive the sports package, which includes 2 tickets to the final round of the BMW Championship, 2 tickets to St. Louis SC, 2 tickets to Mizzou football, 2 tickets to a Blues game, 8 rows from the ice, 2 tickets to a Mizzou game, basketball game, flu, ambush, St. Louis Battlehawks, and opening weekend next year for the Cardinals. It's a $1,500 value. That's the sports package. If the winning bid comes from the show, Rose, Carl, McGraw, and Captain Paul will take 2 of you to dinner at John Minio's. So there you go.
What, no pickleball?
No pickleball. Dinner at John Minio's. Yes, appetizers and wine are available.
And dessert cart.
But you'll have to pick that tab up. Hopefully they have the carrot cake back and in stock by then. So that's the plan. But the winning bid has to come and stand the rest of the day at 10 o'clock, by 10 o'clock or else, right? Tipping has really touched the nerve. Tipping should be for good service only. That being said, I'm always generous tipper. It never hurts to be this way. I always think, do I really need that extra money? Do you care how good or bad your service is when it comes to tipping?
I do, but I still tip. But like it'd be the difference between 30% and 20%.
Really interesting.
Yeah, unless it's like because I can't physically. Like I've had some pretty bad service, but I can't. I don't know.
Not me.
You can't tip less
Not
than-
me. I can't. I don't care about I don't care about the food. I don't care about the service. I tip the same. I double the tax. I double the tax. Whatever the tax is, I double it. Because the tax is like 9%, whatever it is, right? 10%, whatever it is, right? You double the tax. And because it's supposed to be, what, 15% is standard, 20% if it's really good service, not on the alcohol. So who's gonna back out the alcohol? So I just do double the tax. Or well, I'm sorry, I take 10% of the bill and I double it. So if the bill is $120,
that's
$12 plus 12 is 24.
Yeah.
So I take 10% of the bill and then double it. Yeah. All right. Let's see here. I can hardly afford to go out and pay for myself, much less the whole table. I'll go with you the next time you go out, if that's okay. Come on. And dinner and lunch will be on me. Hey, McGraw, I like your habit of picking up the check and moving on to lunch.
Right.
I, too, would rather pick up the bill than go through splitting it up. Luckily, my friends are all the same way. I tip over 20% for reasonable service. McGraw, I remember you saying how much you loved Sam's last year. You need to go there over the holidays. I love Sam's Steakhouse for the holidays. And they keep the holiday ups lights up through March.
Were they able to sustain?
I think they're still going
They're
strong.
doing okay?
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, please feel free to tip your radio hosts. Thank you. People, pay people a decent wage and get rid of tipping. What a concept.
Well, honestly, that's a big going on some of these like the one cruise or whatever. That's kind of like the river thing. Like I remember thinking, it's always you can tip, you can do a tip package before you start,
right.
All this kind of stuff, and then they also at the end, please take care of your blah 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 blah. And I'm like, as someone who's a huge tipper or whatever, it physically, like in the comments, I would say, clearly what you're telling me though is that you're not paying your employees a livable wage because you're so dependent on the tips of each, customer. And like to me, I'm already paying an exorbitant amount to do this, lovely, whatever. And I appreciate it. But what about, because then you got your concierge person that you see every day or the server at your table all the time. But what about the people cooking all the food and cleaning the rooms and all this?
That waiter is supposed to then tip other people. So I don't know. I mean, every place I guess is a little different. But when I was growing up, the waiters and the waitresses tipped the bartender out, and then tipped the maitre d' out. So that 15% gets split up a couple of different ways.
And I get that too. But like said, especially these things, it's kind of like, why do I have to pay extra for service when it's like, why isn't that just naturally included? And these people are working so hard, right? And you want to give them, but I can't afford, it's like for the deal. And then you have to tip exorbitant on top of all that. Like just pay people a livable wage.
Add money to products after you've chosen not to tip at the credit card transaction seems illegal to me. What if you decide to pay the person their tip in cash? Well, you can do that. You zero out the credit card and you leave the $20 on the table.
No, but they're talking about when Rose says and you say no tip and then the price goes up.
I read somewhere it was
yeah.
Shake Shack that did it. Like they showed it on the thing. You wrote, you picked 3 items, then you chose not to tip. And then it was like one of the items had to be updated. The price had to be up, blah, blah. And it was just a very
Shake
basic.
Shack, weren't they the ones trying to do away with tipping?
Yeah, apparently.
When is the raffle up for the Masters? That's in, when is that one?
That's tomorrow.
Is that tomorrow?
Because tomorrow's there's the Masters and then there's also the Indy 500.
Okay, that's tomorrow. The new total on our Ultimate Sports Package: $1,200. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good kitty. Yeah, you betcha. $1,200. That gets all the tickets plus dinner with the morning show, and Captain Paul has a special appearance.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
$1,200. Nice. Captain Paul, St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. How are the roads?
McGraw, an accident on 64 East before the Boone Bridge is causing stop-and-go traffic back to Route K. Traffic is still slow on 70 East between 94 and the Blanchette Bridge after an earlier crash. 270 North is heavy from 55 all the way up to 64. 64 East bogs down from McKnight to Big Bend. 64 West is busy from Hampton to Big Bend. And 64 West is also jammed from Illinois 159 to 255. That's where the 64 West closure starts and continues to 15th Street in East St. Louis. This traffic report is brought to you by the Rack House in Cottleville. Stop by for brunch or happy hour, or have the Rack House cater your next event with box lunches or buffets to accommodate groups of 10 to 200 people. The Rack House, featuring a seasonal menu and upscale casual dining and drinks since 2014. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
72 degrees here at the Big 550 KTRS. Rain and thunderstorms throughout the day today. We'll be back into the 80s, but no heat anywhere in the forecast. 73 right now at 8:31. Back to the newsroom. Here's Rose Dalton.
Minnesota's attorney general is suing the governor of Texas, asking a federal judge to compel the extradition of a federal immigration agent charged with wounding a man and then lying about it during an immigration crackdown in Minneapolis. Attorney General Keith Ellison says Texas Governor Greg Abbott has not signed papers to extradite Immigration and Customs Enforcement agent Christian Castro since his arrest in Texas in May. Democratic Senator Alyssa Slotkin has asked Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth to confirm that he won't send troops to polling places during the midterm elections. Federal law typically prohibits the military from deploying armed forces at election locations, but concerns are growing among Democrats that President Donald Trump may try to use the military to intimidate voters or seize voting machines. In local headlines, a Cole County judge is scheduled to rule today on a lawsuit over a petition that would make it more difficult for Missouri lawmakers to change laws approved by voters. The lawsuit was filed following Missouri Secretary of State Denny Hoskins' decision not to certify the petition for the November ballot. MAP test scores in Missouri are rising. The Missouri Department of Elementary and Secondary Education releases the 25-26 grade level and end-of-course preliminary assessment data yesterday, which found that test results showed progress in English language arts, math, science, and government in both grade and high school end-of-course assessments. 70 degrees. Time now is 8:32. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Let's talk Altair Travel and Cruises. Want to talk Altair Travel and Cruises? Yeah. Because how'd you like to get away? Mike Ward, successful trip with a bunch of KTRS listeners. Heidi's taking a bunch of listeners to Greenland. And we, believe it or not, we're making a couple of inquiries into a couple of trips. Nothing to report yet. Just let you know that it could be a good one. We'll just have to wait and see. But until then, if you want to travel anywhere, you want to make sure Altair Travel and Cruises handles all the details. You know, my sister's in town, and we keep talking about all these wonderful trips we took thanks to Altair Travel and the stories and the things we did and the places we got to see. Never in a million years did we think we would ever be lucky enough to see those places. Well, because of Altair Travel and Cruises, we were able to see those things and able to see them not just in an emergency, but also to enjoy it, to respect it, to learn about it. That's what makes Altair Travel so great, is that it's the way you travel and the memories that you take back and the memories you'll have forever and the pictures. So for all of your travel needs, don't go to Google. They're not out there to help you. Let Altair Travel and Cruises, the humans there, help you figure out the best way to have a trip and make sure, God forbid, something were to go wrong on your trip, you have the backing and the power of Altair Travel to help you navigate whatever you come across as you're traveling anywhere in the globe. 314-968-9600, 314-968-9600 or altairtravel.com.
Hello, everyone. This is Zipper Zeppa. The Mater Media Speaker Series is upon us. Coming up in September, John O'Leary, Bill O'Reilly, Dr. Ira DeWitt, Eric Jenis, Leo Severino, and Cardinal Timothy Dolan, live and in person in St. Louis. Get your tickets. Here's a special deal, 25% off for KTRS listeners. Go to matermedia.org/KTRS. That's matermedia.org/KTRS.
Are you or a family member needing to sell your home? then call me, Mike Robinson with Robank Properties. I will buy your home in any condition and always as is. Call me at 314-283-0867. That's 314-283-0867. No contingencies, no inspections, just cold hard cash. I'll save you time and money. So make that call now and let me buy your house. RobankProperties.com. That's ROBANG Properties.com.
John Beal Roofing has been proudly serving homeowners and businesses in the St. Louis metro area on both sides of the river in Missouri and Illinois for over 3 generations. A dependable roof begins with a team you can count on, and that's exactly what you get with John Beal Roofing. Recognized as one of Roofing Contractor Magazine's top 100 roofing companies, John Beal Roofing offers 24/7 emergency service and industry-leading warranties, including a lifetime workmanship warranty for total peace of mind. From upgrading an aging roof or completing a full replacement, the team at John Beal Roofing delivers solutions that are built to code, built to last, and handled with expert care. John Beal also responds quickly with reliable storm damage services backed by decades of experience and 24/7 emergency support. Get started today for expert service and a free, no obligation estimate by calling 1-800-NEW-ROOF. That's 1-800-NEW-ROOF.
The 38th Midwest Salute to the Arts invites you to a 3-day outdoor arts festival at Moody Park in Fairview Heights, Illinois, August 28th through the 30th. Visitors can immerse themselves in a celebration of art, enjoy local food vendors, and a kids' creation station. Join us for new waves of contemporary outdoor sculpture exhibit in partnership with Art Village Fairview. For more information, visit MidwestSalute.com. Brought to you in part by the Illinois Office of Tourism and Discover Downstate Illinois.
Since 1964, Royal Banks of Missouri has proudly called St. Louis home. Over 60 years later, we offer 15 convenient locations with 2 new branches coming soon in South St. Louis County and Glen Carbon, Illinois. With customized solutions and a local team you can count on, Royal Banks of Missouri is invested in your financial success. Call 314-212-1500 or visit royalbanksofmo.com. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
It's the Big Sports Show with Sports Director Brendan Lisi. Weeknights 7 to 9 on the Talk of St. Louis, the Big 550, KTRS. Now back to McGraw, presented by Londoff Chevrolet, the Londoff Autoplex, and Londoff.com on the Big 550, KTRS.
Don't look now. The Cardinals win again. They shut out the Reds yesterday 3-0. They are now 3 games back of the last wild card spot. Randy Carricker joins us from KTRS and KMOV. Good morning, Randy Carricker.
Good morning, McGraw. And the Cardinals, I would say that Kyle Leahy, over his last 10 starts where he has a sub-2 earned run average, he's one of the 4 or 5 best starting pitchers in baseball since really the start of last month, since the start of July. He's been fantastic. And I think the Cardinals really found something in moving him from the bullpen into the rotation. He's never going to be an innings guy, but baseball teams don't ask for their pitchers to be innings guys anymore. But because of his pitch arsenal, he's got 6 really good pitches. He's been fantastic, and he was great again last night.
Yeah, so the bullpen, right, he pitched 5 innings. The bullpen finished up the last 4 innings. As weird as that sounds, that's a great day for the pitching staff. They're only 3 back. When do you start getting a little nervous about this thing, Randy?
Well, I think most importantly, I think they'll play meaningful games in September, which I think this team needed to experience. Now, that being said, the Padres are playing great. They're the hottest team in the National League. We talked about it at the deadline when they went out and got Robbie Ray from the Giants and Casey Mize from the Tigers. They have the best bullpen in baseball, and now their hitters are hitting. So the Padres are going to be there. I think the Cubs are still going to be there. So the team that you have to deal with is Philadelphia. The Cardinals played this weekend and obviously had some success against last week. I would think if the Cardinals can take this series against Philadelphia, that's when you start thinking, okay, there's a chance, because the Cardinals' schedule in September is not particularly daunting. So I would think that they would give themselves an opportunity if they can go into September with this very deficit that they have right now. If they can go into September 3 games out, I think they'll be in pretty good shape and have a chance. And the most important thing is for these young guys who have never been through a pennant race in September to play these games, because everybody I've ever asked that has been through it says it's just a different game. And we see it when the Cardinals are in the hunt. And I think sometimes because the Cardinals have been mediocre for a few years, we don't really remember what it takes to be excellent. And this team just isn't ready to be excellent. They just aren't good enough right now with the bottom 4 in their lineup to be a great team. They could be really good, but I don't think that they're close to being great.
Let's see what happens. 3 games back, 65 and 62, 3 games over 500. And they're in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th slot when it comes to the wild card. We'll see how all that works out.
And what you just said is so notable because they're 3 games over 500. And to be great, you want to be 30 games over 500. And so that's why I say that they aren't close. And I really like this team and I like their future. But does this compare to the teams that played in 04 when they went to the World Series, or 05 when they went to the LCS, or 02 when they went to the LCS, or even 2019 or when they won 100 games in 2015? This team just doesn't compare to those teams.
Yeah. You're at Belle Reve. Set the scene for us. What's going on at the BMW Championships?
Well, they're going to play their Pro-Am today, and so a lot of people will, amateurs here in St. Louis that paid their way in, will get an opportunity to play with some of the great pros, and then everything gets underway with the tournament tomorrow, and it is the top 50 golfers in the world at Belle Reve, and it'll be really interesting to see if Scotty Scheffler can win again, because he is a prohibitive betting favorite, and I don't see anybody out there that I would say, okay, well, I would bet on that guy to beat Scotty Scheffler. I don't think that Rory McIlroy is playing that sort of golf. Sam Burns has never put 4 rounds together. He's really good, but I don't know if he can do it. Tommy Fleetwood isn't playing great. So Scheffler seems to be kind of alone as the best guy heading into this tournament.
I heard the merch tent's pretty good out there.
Well, they do it right. And the BMW Championship is a little bit different than the PGA. But, McGraw, you remember when the PGA was here, they were selling a cap a minute on average from Sunday through Sunday. And that's what they'll do again here. But they've got everything. They've got the pullovers. They've got all the golf memorabilia. They've got the polo shirts. They've got the caps. They've got everything that you could ever want with the BMW logo on it. So if you want to advertise for BMW, you go to the BMW merch tent and you're going to find a lot of stuff with that BMW logo on it.
Randy, real quick, we haven't talked much about the Mizzou football game. What do we know? It's so hard to predict football teams now with the porthole and everybody leaving and everybody new coming in. What are we thinking about the Mizzou football team?
Well, people that know what they're talking about, the writers and the coaches have them ranked in the top 25. I'm with you. I don't know. They have 1 starter back on defense. They have 10 new defensive starters, which is obviously a dramatic change. They have a new quarterback. Their offensive line should be good. And Luke Work, a transfer from K-State, has won the right tackle job. But we don't know about the receivers. We don't know if Ahmad Hardy is going to be healthy. So I think it is a big question mark, but I think the fact that they're in the top 25 in both polls shows the respect that Eli Drinkwitz and his staff have earned from people that really pay attention. That kind of like Ohio State at the top and Texas at the top every year, there's a level of respect for Drinkwitz in the program here that they do things right and they're going to be pretty good. They open against Arkansas Pine Bluff on September 3rd. That's a Thursday night right here on the Big 550. And even though there are a lot of questions, I think there's reason to be confident. And by the way, for the 3rd straight year, Mizzou has sold out their season tickets at Faurot Field, which is pretty incredible. Good for them.
Wow, that is good considering they also finished the construction, right? The whole that M side of the field is now all put back together.
Right, and people will be able to sit in that north end zone. They'll still have tickets for that. And I have not been inside the North End Zone project, but apparently it's absolutely unbelievable. And they are definitely an SEC school. When you look at that stadium, man, they are definitely in the SEC, and they are big time in that regard. Now what they need to do is get their NIL budget up a little bit, because 6 of the top 12 payrolls in college football are in the SEC, but Mizzou isn't one of them.
So weird to talk about that. And lastly, I know that M has a lot of memories for a lot of people, but God love you, who wants to sit on rocks during a football game?
I agree with you, and I always admired the people that did, because that gave me an opportunity to sit in a seat. But yeah, I do not want to sit on a rock. But it looks great, and it was very important for alums and for boosters to have that M there because it's part of the Mizzou tradition. And not all of that tradition is great, and they want to make it a special tradition now.
God love him. You want to sit on rocks during a game? Knock yourself out. I'll enjoy the festivities. All right.
You can't even fit one of those seat cushions on a rock. You just have to sit on a rock and be uncomfortable.
And those seat cushions, man, that's from the Newt Rockney era. Some of those things.
They really are.
Randy Carricker, who's your sponsor?
It's our friends at Classic Air Care, McGraw, and they do an amazing job of taking care of your HVAC systems. And I know the weather's great right now, but you can't count on it being great in St. Louis. And even in September, we're going to get into that 90-degree range. And if you have a problem with your air conditioner, you need to get in touch with my friends at Classic Air Care for their $79 air conditioning tune-up. They have HVAC service. They have free service call with a repair of your air conditioner or furnace. And we're getting to that point now where we're going to be talking about the furnace. Heck, we're almost to September, and we're almost to that cool weather, and you need to make sure that your HVAC system is top of the line, and our friends at Classic Air Care will help you out. And if you need electrical, you need plumbing, they can do that as well. Make your appointment now at classicaircare.com.
Captain Paul, St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center. Good morning.
Good morning, McGraw. An accident on 64 East before the Boone Bridge is causing a slight slowdown back to Route K. Traffic is still slow on 70 East between 94 and the Blanchette Bridge after an earlier crash. 270 North heavy from Gravois all the way to Manchester. 64 East bogs down from McKnight to Big Bend. 64 West is busy from Hampton to Big Bend. And 64 West is also jammed from Illinois 159 to 255. That's where the 64 West closure starts, and it continues to 15th Street in East St. Louis. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
From the Woods Basement Systems Weather Desk, local experts for basement waterproofing, foundation repair, crawl space repair, and more. WoodsBasementSystems.com.
I'm First Alert 4 Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton. Scattered thunderstorms are likely through Wednesday morning. Some of these could produce some downpours and gusty winds. A low of 71, then a high of 81 in the afternoon. It's cooler because all the clouds and rain, as we still have a chance for an isolated shower thunderstorm later in the day. The more widespread heavy rain being in the morning, though. Thursday, partly cloudy with a high right around 85. That's the latest from the First Alert 4 Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton for the Big 550 KTRS.
Looking for a new kitchen or bath? Call me, Anne-Marie Boges, the co-host of the Inside Out Show and owner and designer at Anne-Marie Design Studio. Visit our website at annemariestudio.com. We can help make your dream space into a reality. We're a fine kitchen and bath boutique located in Wildwood. We do it all, from design to bid to installation too. Call us today at 636-821-3395 or go online at annemariestudio.com. Let's make your dream kitchen or bath a reality with Anne-Marie Design Studio.
I'm Mark Miller, owner of Miller Furniture and Mattress, your home for quality American-made furniture since 1927. We offer the largest selection of Amish-made furniture in the St. Louis area, plus quality living room furniture from Flexsteel and Smith Brothers. We carry top-quality mattresses from world-famous brands like Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, and Chatham & Wells. Shop our Belleville, Fairview Heights, Lake St. Louis, and Ellisville showrooms. At Miller Furniture, we put the family in furniture.
St. Louis County Library is celebrating 100 years of Route 66 with a fun family adventure this fall. The Route 66 Challenge runs from August 1st through November 30th and encourages families to visit unique roadside attractions, attend programs at the library, and read books about travel. You only need to complete 5 activities to finish the challenge and be entered into a raffle for a $100 Visa gift card. Ready to hit the road? Visit slcl.org to sign up and learn more.
Hello, everybody. I'm Bob Hardcastle, host of Money Talk. Join me and all of our Money Talkers for our June 2027 French Riviera Money Talk vacation. 9 days, unpack one time, balmy beaches, coastal resorts, chic boutiques, captivating museums, and much more. And if you book early, under $5,000 for brochure and information, call our Delta office, 636-532-0484. The French Riviera, I'm Bob Hardcastle.
Now back to McGraw, presented by Londoff Chevrolet, the Londoff Autoplex, and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTR.
Here, Big 550 KTRS. One of the good ones, Ben Barnett from Timberline Tree Care. Good morning, Ben Barnett.
Good morning, sir. How are you today?
Good. Let's talk about trees. You sent me a couple of articles talking about scammers out there and people you should be aware of. What's going on?
Very applicable to today and this summer. So we haven't had the storms this year like we did last year, where there was just a couple of huge events, tornadoes that just devastate the area. But what we have had this year is steady wind every week or two, and we're getting few calls most every week with some storm damage, whether it's severe or minor. And something came to my attention about a month ago, a scam that I hadn't heard of before. And these folks are advertising most likely on Google. So you get you have a tree fall on your house and panic sets in. I have to do something right now. I have to do something right now. So you call the first company that pops up on Google. You have no idea where they are or where they're from or anything. And they answer the phone and they say, yeah, absolutely. We'll send somebody right out, sign the service agreement that they emailed to you. And it's about a 10-page document. And there's all kinds of fine print in there. And people come out to your house for 15 or 20 minutes. And the particular case that I read about, the bill is $12,000.
Whoa.
So, and they've immediately placed a mechanics lien on the house because you've agreed to all this stuff.
Right.
They don't know necessarily what they need to bring, so they send everything.
Right.
They might send 6-7 guys, a bunch of trucks, cranes on a limb that's down on their house with a dented gutter.
Right.
And you get a bill for $12,000 in the mail, and if you don't pay it,
they're coming after you in every way, shape,
right?
or form.
And insurance companies insurance companies are what they are, but
right.
And most of the time, if you're reasonable, they'll pay what you bill them. But for a few minutes of work, $12,000 bill, the insurance company is not going to pay that.
Yeah. So this is happening here in Missouri.
Absolutely. And after I read the last article, I did a little bit of Googling, and the tornado last year, the same thing happened, same company. This bill was $36,000. So a couple of tips. If a tree does fall on your house, well, first of all, call us. We'll come check your trees out.
Here's the only tip you need. Call Ben at Timberline Tree Care.
Yeah, call us. We'll do a risk assessment. These types of events that we're having this summer, mostly the little windstorm stuff, this is the type of stuff that we can prevent with a risk assessment. Now, if a hurricane or tornado comes through, all bets are off. We're not going to be able to, even a healthy tree can fall over that.
Sure.
But if something does happen, a tree falls on your house, a tree falls on your car, thank goodness that everybody's safe. That's the first thing you should do. The second thing you should do is remind yourself not to panic. Most of the time, if you have damage to your house, your car, it's not going to be fixed right away, even if you get somebody right out there. So take time to practice your due diligence. You still need to look at reviews. You still need to call the BBBs. You still should really look into these companies before you just say, yes, I need to hire the very first company that answers the phone, because you can get yourself in trouble.
Yeah, because they're sending you that contract to lock you in.
Right.
Absolutely. No one's going to read the 12 pages of fine print. Sure, sign this. This is standard procedure. I've got to do this. Okay, great, fine, whatever. Right? You've already built up a rapport with the person on the phone. They seem like a good guy. I'll sign the other paperwork, and all of a sudden you just signed away $30,000.
So we do, like I said, we do emergency work almost every week. I've never once done a job that I haven't looked at first. I don't bring equipment to jobs that I don't need. I don't overcharge. Sometimes the insurance company will call me and ask me about a few things, and we can absolutely justify every single charge we have. And I'll tell you, sometimes it's not inexpensive. Sometimes it gets up there.
Yeah.
On emergency work, we've done work on holiday. We did work on 4th of July and Memorial Day this year. Guys are making overtime. We're doing a lot of stuff with a lot of expensive equipment. So it's not cheap, but that doesn't mean that you still have to charge 10 times what not cheap should be in the first place.
I've joked, but I've said you're the world's worst businessman in the world because you go out to people's.
It's not really a joke.
You go out to people's homes. I've numerous times and say no. People have said I want you to take this tree down, and you've said no, I will not take this tree down. This is a healthy tree.
Yeah, and I'm not here to judge what your personal preferences are, but if the question is if the tree's bad, I'm going to take it down. I'm not going to tell you a tree's bad if it's not.
Right.
But I'm not going to judge somebody because a tree scares them whether it's good or not. That's their business.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you shamed me into keeping one of them. I was like, take this tree down. You're like, absolutely not. I will not take that tree down.
Yeah. Well, we have a different type of relationship. Hey, what's that men's cancer group?
St. Louis Men's Group Against Cancer. It's $1,200 now.
$1,200. Is that Donald that bid on that?
That is not Donald.
Are you sure?
No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. $1,200.
If Donald bids, can I match it?
No, I'd much rather go to dinner with Donald than you.
I'm sure. Well, I thought
much
maybe
rather get yelled at by Donald for 2 hours.
If we got together in the same room, the myth would be dispelled. That
is true. That is true. Yes, Donald and you. Funny, Donald's number is the same as Ben Barnett's over there at Timberline Tree Care. All right. So the most important thing is call Ben, Timberline Tree Care. Now, every time you're on the show, we always get people 3 or 4 or 5 days later texting us, what's your number? There's a lot of things that sound like Timberline Tree Care.
Yeah.
So
the official name of the business is Timberline Professional Tree Care.
And the website is
stltreecare.com.
stltreecare.com, because I know people are thinking they're calling you and getting somebody else.
Yeah, that's what the Google does for us now. You think you're looking into one thing and you're actually looking into something completely different. And I'm not going to say that folks have copycatted the name, but
I will.
They may have.
Yeah. and we should say, I wouldn't be surprised if insurance companies call you for expert advice.
They do. We are very involved with a lot of different groups, either third party or directly through insurance companies, and we work well with them. If you do have emergency work, we'll be happy to take care of that. But really, we need to get some of these things looked at prior to the windstorm coming through.
Yeah. You also are working with towns and municipalities and counties, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. We do a lot of work for different municipalities around town. We've been under contract with City of Chesterfield for better part of 15 years now. St. Louis County parks, things like that for a long time. We have long-standing relationships with almost everybody in town that knows anything about trees.
And it's a tight-knit community. You know who the good lumber guys are. You know who the bad guys are. You know who to avoid, and you would no problem recommending another company if you left.
If you're out of our service territory, you can still call us up. If it's somewhere we can't go to, if it's in at least somewhat the local area, I should be able to point you in the right direction.
Yeah. And in terms of, you're saying call and have an assessment done, trim up some of these trees will go a long way in saving damage when the storm does come.
Yeah, 100%. That's the prevention is the best medicine here.
Yeah. All right. The website one more time?
stltreecare.com.
And what's the phone number?
636-479-7475.
And do you still put the GoPros on top of the guys and let them put those videos up online?
There doesn't seem to be all that much time for that anymore, but every once in a while we get a nice video or some photos to post out there.
It gives you like vertigo watching that stuff. It's crazy stuff. Ben Barnett, one of the good ones. If you got any tree issues, he is the man to call, because everybody calls Ben Barnett at Timberline Tree Care. Ben, Genevieve, whatever your name is. Thanks for coming in. Donald.
My pleasure.
There you go. 8:58. Quick check of traffic. Here's Captain Paul, St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center.
McGraw traffic is still slow on 64 East around 94 after an earlier crash. 270 North is heavy from Graboy to Manchester. 64 East bogs down from McKnight to Big Bend. 64 West is busy from Hampton to Big Bend, and 64 West is also jammed between Illinois 159 and 255. That's where the 64 West closure starts, and it stretches to 15th Street in East St. Louis. This traffic report is brought to you by Neighbors Credit Union. If you're ready to upsize, downsize, or first-time home buy, turn to the team at Neighbors Credit Union. At Neighbors Credit Union, you'll find great rates, expert advice, and personalized friendly service throughout the entire home loan process and beyond. That's just what you'd expect from a great neighbor. Apply online today at neighborscu.org. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
If you need elder planning and estate planning, you know who you need? Beck, Lennox, and Stolzer, estate planning and elder law. Rudy Beck, Jay Lennox, Carolyn Stolzer, and Matthew Furr. That's the well-respected and trusted team of BeckElderLaw.com. St. Charles County is where their office is, but they'll work all over the region, both sides of the river, and they've been doing this for 50-plus years. They have the respect of the community as well as the industry. And so you want to handle your finances properly, the only way to do it, BeckElderLaw.com. They helped me tremendously. They'll help you. Don't put your head in the sand. BeckElderLaw.com.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. The case has been laid out in the trial pitting attorneys general from around the country against Meta, creator of Instagram and Facebook. The social media giant is in California, accused of knowing its products were harmful to young people, but developed them anyway. ABC's Kana Whitworth has more on the first day's testimony.
This is an operation that lawyers described as hook, hold, harvest, and hide, claiming the company also harvested data and hid the truth from the public. They call the former Facebook employee to the stand as well, who testified that teens are being exposed to violent and graphic content that was 100 to 400 times higher than what Meta is reporting publicly.
In a statement, Meta calls the claims against it limited. Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg is expected to take the stand at some point during the trial. The United Arab Emirates says it suspended all trade with Iran after the UAE says it had come under fire from Tehran. Renewed scrutiny of the Navy following news that a destroyer suffered a complete power failure last month in the South China Sea.
The 300 sailors on board reportedly had limited drinking water, no toilets, and no air conditioning after the ship suffered a complete loss of power. It was later towed to the Philippines for repairs. The Benfold was part of a fleet heading to the Middle East to relieve the USS Lincoln, whose crew has been at sea for a record 268 days as part of the war on Iran.
The USS Lincoln has been at the center of calls for investigations amid reports of deteriorating conditions on board. Another Democratic Socialist wins her primary.
What is going on right now is not normal in Washington, D.C., nor is it acceptable.
State Representative Angie Nixon beating establishment candidate Alexander Vindman in the Florida Senate primary. She will face Senator Ashley Moody in the November race for now Secretary of State Marco Rubio's former seat. Markets opened about a half hour ago. Dow's up 279. This is ABC News.
30 years going strong. We are live, local and locally owned. This is the Big 550, KTRS St. Louis.
You know that honey-do list isn't getting any shorter, and you got to make a dent into it. Can I recommend going somewhere to helping you out? Schnarr's Hardware. Schnarr's Hardware has 2 locations, one in Webster and one in Ladue. 1 great family, 2 great hardware stores. Schnarr's Hardware. When you walk in with that list, you say, okay, I think I know how to do this one, but these 3 I need help on. And you know what? The people behind the counter at Schnarr's Hardware, that's what they do best. They have the expertise, so they can help you with electrical, help you with plumbing, painting, really anything at Schnarr's Hardware. They're small, they're compact, but it's that friendly neighborhood hardware store that has been the way it's been here in America for years, right? You remember when your grandfather took you to the hardware store. That's Schnarr's Hardware. The popcorn and the advice are free. So when you go to Schnarr's Hardware, 2 locations in Webster and in Ladue. Don't forget about the website, schnarrshardware.com. So for all of your hardware needs and that honey-do list, Schnarr's Hardware or schnarrshardware.com.
Home loan rates are changing daily. If you're in the market for a new home, you may be able to get a better rate than you think. The First Community Members Best Loan is available for qualified borrowers for just 6.016 APR with a 30-year term. And while some loan rates are subject to change daily, the Members Best Home Loan is available right now at that rate. So check it out at firstcommunity.com or call toll-free 1-888-642-7969 for complete terms and conditions.
70 degrees at 9:03. A contractor for MoDOT was killed in a work zone accident in Bridgeton. Police say this happened early yesterday morning along I-70 and St. Charles Rock Road. First responders were told the man had been standing in the back of a truck in the construction zone job site when he fell from the truck and was struck by another piece of equipment. The victim has been identified as 49-year-old Matthew Brown. PETA is offering a reward of up to $5,000 for information leading to the arrest and conviction of whomever is responsible for abandoning 4 guinea pigs on a St. Charles County highway. The guinea pigs were found by a Good Samaritan on August 9th along Old Highway N in Lake St. Louis during an extreme heat warning. The animals were found in 2 plastic balls with 2 crammed into each. 3 of the animals were already dead when they were found. The 4th was taken to a veterinarian and is still recovering. Anyone with information is urged to contact O'Fallon Animal Control at 636-240-3200. Governor J.B. Pritzker has issued a state disaster proclamation following weeks of severe and record-breaking weather across Illinois. The severe weather resulted in widespread damage from torrential downpours, flash flooding, straight-line winds, and several tornadoes. The proclamation will make additional state resources and personnel available to support local response efforts and recovery operations. The U.S. Figure Skating Championships, which were held in St. Louis, has been nominated for the Best Amateur Sports Event of 2026. KTRS's Vicki Pimentel has the story.
The 2026 Prevagen U.S. Figure Skating Championships, hosted in the Gateway City in January, has been named a finalist for the Best Amateur Sports Event in the 2026 Sports Travel Awards. The event was held at Enterprise Center and also at the Centene Community Ice Center. The country's top skaters competed for national titles and spots on the U.S. Olympic figure skating team. The event drew more than 91,000 fans and generated nearly $16 million in economic impact for the region. 67% of the spectators came from outside the St. Louis area. Fans can cast their votes through Friday, August 28th, by visiting sportstravelmagazine.com and selecting the Figure Skating Championships in the Best Amateur Sports Event category. Vicki Pimentel, KTRS News.
Walmart drone deliveries could soon be flying over St. Charles City and Maplewood. City councils in both areas heard pitches last night from Wing, Walmart's drone delivery partner. Earlier this year, Wing announced plans to service the St. Louis area. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. And now let's take a look at the markets brought to you by JBL Financial. You can tune in to Straight Talk on Retirement on Saturday mornings from 9 to 11 right here on the Big 550. The Dow is up 261 points to 53,700. The S&P is up 30 points to 7,800. And the NASDAQ is down 12 points to 26,300. In KTRS Sports, the Cardinals blanked the Reds 3-0 in Cincinnati. Mason Wynn had a home run and 2 doubles, while Kyle Leahy combined with 4 relievers to throw a 3-hit shutout. And world number 1 Scotty Scheffler will group with Matt Fitzpatrick tomorrow in the opening round of the BMW Championship from Bellerive. The pair will tee off at 1:33. In KTRS Time Saver Traffic, let's go to the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center for a look at the roads, where we find Captain Paul Kopsky standing by.
Rose, there's an accident on 70 East at Packers, just past the Musial Bridge. 270 North is heavy from 44 up to Doherty Ferry. 64 East bogs down around 170. 64 West is busy between Clayton Skinker and McCausland. And 64 West is also jammed between Illinois 159 and 255. That's where the 64 West closure starts, and it stretches to 15th Street in East St. Louis. This traffic report is brought to you by Stages St. Louis. Get your single tickets now for Stages St. Louis. Take a trip back to the 40s and 50s with Guys and Dolls, which runs through August 23rd. Then Stages will wrap up this year with the incredible true story of Come From Away. Call 314-821-2407 or visit stagessstlouis.org. From the KTRS St. Louis Plaza Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Thank you, Captain Paul. In KTRS weather, rain and storms move out of the area this morning. Cloudy the rest of the day with a high of 82. Cloudy with more rain possible and an overnight low of 70 tonight and tomorrow. Cloudy with rain possible and a high of 84. Currently 70 degrees at 9:08. I'm Rose Dalton, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Julius Krasanik here, celebrating 54 years in this industry. My family owns Wholesale Siding Depot. That's WSDepot.com. Our seasoned customer service group has over 200 years of combined siding, window, and door experience. My grandson Elijah says,
Are you kidding me?
tired of companies that like to apply pressure to sell you high-priced fiberglass or wood windows? We offer the Anderson Fibrex family of windows in styles and colors, including black, at wholesale prices. What are you waiting for? We sell truckloads of siding, windows, and doors from CertainTeed, Anderson, Viwinco, Provia, and other major brands, all at wholesale prices, while offering a free contractor referral service for your expert installation needs. Keep it local, family, and professional. Visit WSDepot.com. That's WSDepot.com.
Most car shopping starts online, and lately, shoppers are spending more time at HWKia.com. Recent website reporting shows HW Kia shoppers spend nearly twice as much engaged time on the site compared to other Kia dealer websites. That means people are choosing HWKia.com instead of doing other important internet activities, like watching a guy build a swimming pool out of mud, or looking up, can my dog eat pickles? Why are they staying on HWKia.com nearly twice as long? Because there's more worth looking at. More new Kia inventory, more ways to shop, more ways to check current offers, more ways to value your trade, and more ways to find a payment that works for you. The report also shows HWKia.com shoppers are taking action and engaging through chats, texts, forums, and money-saving website events. So before you bounce from dealership to dealership, start where other shoppers are already spending more time and getting the deal they deserve. Start now at HWKia.com. Research compiled from June and July website traffic.
If you're from St. Louis, you likely have a Maggie O'Brien story. Maggie O'Brien's has become an iconic local hotspot for St. Louis sports, holiday parties, corporate and private events in downtown St. Louis for food and fun with distinctive Irish flair. Do check out their location in Sunset Hills, Maggie O's.
One thing, I try to do is not think about all the money I have to spend. But sometimes it goes through your head and you think, I got to buy this, I got to spend money on that. But the money that you spent on your house is probably the biggest single purchase you've ever made. So it makes sense to protect it. And you know what? There might be things going on up top there on the roof that you can't see. Allen Roofing can. They don't even have to go up there. They can send some drones up to have a look, find out the problem, give a diagnosis, sit down with you and say, what shall we do from here to protect that asset of yours that you spent all that money on? It only makes sense, whether it's a roof, whether it's siding, tuck pointing, anything to do with the outside of your house. They will help you protect it. Find them online at aroofing.net.
How would you like your vehicle serviced at your own home or office? Our new Mobile Service Plus, available exclusively from St. Paul Cadillac, can do just that. Hi, this is Joe Clemens. Simply give us a call or go to our website and get a unit dispatched right to your doorstep. This is a game changer for customer service, and we are so happy to offer it to you. Everything from oil changes, belts, new tires, tire rotation, recalls, key fobs, brake pads and rotors, EV charge, battery replacement, air conditioning service, and so much more. St. Paul's Mobile Service Plus will come to you. Call our mobile dispatch at 636-931-0055. That's 636-931-0055. Or go to our website at stpaulcadillac.com and set up an appointment. It's that simple. Get door-to-door service with St. Paul's new Mobile Service Plus. Nothing could be easier. Set up your appointment today. That's Mobile Service Plus, exclusively from St. Paul Cadillac at the Herculaneum Auto Mall exit.
It's Julie Buck here to tell you that the patio is open at Bishop's Post right next to Chesterfield Mall. Get your reservations in now and go to Bishop's Post. You will love it. Tell them Julie Buck sent you. bishopspost.com.
This is the Big 550 KTRS St. Louis.
Live and local.
Depend on it. This is the McGraw Show on KTRS.
Hey, I had lunch at Piccadilly at Manhattan yesterday with Paula Anderson from Neighbors Credit Union. I had to do what do they call those things?
Wellness check?
No, yeah, wellness check on Piccadilly. Now, what do you call that when you shopping? What do you when you
Secret shopper?
Secret shopper. Yeah, I was a little bit of a secret shopper at Piccadilly, and just to let you know, the wings were great, and the onion rings were still very, very good. So. Piccadilly at Manhattan. The quality is still there at Piccadilly. So if you're looking for a good place to go grab lunch or dinner, Piccadilly at Manhattan. All right. Phone numbers are out there. 314-931-5877. 314-931-5877. Text your comments to 84126. It's the Ultimate Sports Package giveaway right here on the Big 550 KTRS. This is to jumpstart the St. Louis Men's Group Against Cancer tomorrow, which is all day. So today, since 6 a.m., we've been auctioning off this sports package, which I'll tell you about here in a second. And you have until 5:45 to bid on it. However, we have some interesting developments to pass along to you. Here's the package. It's a $1,500 value. 2 tickets to each of the following. This Sunday's final round of the BMW Championship, St. Louis City SC soccer game, Mizzou football home opener, Blues regular season game 8 rows from the ice, a Mizzou basketball game in Columbia, a SLU basketball game, an ambush game, a Battlehawks game, and 2 tickets to the Cardinals 27 opening weekend game. Now, that whole package value is at $1,500. And to spice things up a little bit, we put this on there at 6 a.m., that if the winning bid comes from the morning show, in other words, whoever has the highest bid at 10 o'clock, if that carries the day, you will receive, as well as all this wonderful items, dinner at John Minio's with the 4 of us, Carl, Rose, McGraw, and Captain Paul. And the bidding before we went off the air in the 8 o'clock hour was $1,200. We have a new high bid. I bid $3,000. And if I get outbid, I will offer $2,000 to St. Louis Men's Group Against Cancer for the dinner. So the current bid is $3,000, and I guess we're going to dinner with this guy for $2,000. This has been I don't know how we handle this. I don't know who this guy is, but
we'll find him.
Hopefully he's not an axe murderer. An axe murderer with a couple $1,000s to burn.
Who's going to take you to a public place in front of witnesses?
That's exactly right. So the bid is currently $3,000 for the sports package. We should mention that every single nickel of this, every single penny of this $3,000 of the whatever the winning bid is, goes straight into St. Louis Men's Group Against Cancer, and that's a great way. So if this $3,000 carries the day, or we get a higher bid, whatever the bid is at 10, if it carries the day, then dinner on me, John Minio's with the gang. And then tomorrow will be St. Louis Men's Group Against Cancer. That's a crazy day, but a great way to sort of help out a wonderful, wonderful cause. We've been doing it 15 years now, 16 years. It's been around for 50 plus years, I believe. And back in the day, even today, it's run by a group of men and some women in there as well. But these men get together and they know that they can raise money. They just don't know anything about what to do with the money. So they give it in grants to across the board spectrum of charities, whether it's medical charities, medical research, but oftentimes it goes to organizations, small organizations that are making a difference on the individual level, who are people who are fighting cancer. Everything from maid service for people suffering from cancer, or a nice lounge where you easier to take the chemo from. So the stories are just heartbreakingly wonderful. So we'll talk all about that tomorrow. But currently the bid, $3,000. How about that? All right, 314-931-5877. Text your comments to 84126. The text message is going crazy. Ha, 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 not an axe murderer. I won the sports package 2 years ago. Yeah. Axe murderers don't normally say they're axe murderers. Axe murderers usually say, I'm not an axe murderer. Let's see here. Isn't Paul Minios? It's not John Minios. Very, very confusing. John Minios is the restaurant on Clayton Road in Mason. That's John Minios.
Next to the Strops.
Paul Manos was the restaurant that was out here at Westport. That doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
But then there's something on Clarkson Road over there by 141. That's something. That was a Paul Manos or something.
We're talking about the Town and Country place.
The Town and Country place, John Minios. Yes. There you go. All right, let's see here. What else we got going on? Pretty amazing that we don't hear from the Donald very much anymore because his boy, Donald J. Trump, is such an embarrassment to this country. Even he can't back his BS. His MAGA backing is falling apart. Tim, formerly from North County. He just put the bat signal out.
It's Beetlejuice.
He just put the bat signal out. Donald will be calling by the end of the hour. No, I don't think anything. I don't think anything will deter Donald and his wife Melania, and from supporting Donald Trump. No, there are three types of people in the country today. There are people who love Donald Trump. There are people who despise Donald Trump. And then there are people who despise Donald Trump but pretend to like him to get something from the supporters of Donald Trump, right? So there's people who, you talk to them all the time. They despise Donald Trump, and then they turn on the cameras, and then, of course, they're, buddies with Donald Trump. So there's people who despise him, people who love him, and then people who are pretending to love him to get while the getting's good, so to speak. All right, 314-931-5877. 314-931-5877. Text your comments to 84126. I love that Donald is now a character on your show. Oh, he's a character, all right. Happy birthday, Randy Carricker.
I asked him. He said, yep, I'm old.
Randy Carricker. There you go. I've known Randy Carricker 26 years. Second or third person I met when I moved to St. Louis. John Carney, Randy Carricker. Harry Ham was the first one I met.
Sorry.
Yeah, I know. That was somewhat interesting. But yeah, it was Carney would do the 10 to 2 show, and the sports guys would stick around and come in for the Restaurant Tuesday stuff. So we would, every Tuesday we'd sit down and chew on the fat, so to speak. As a matter of fact, I don't think I've ever told Randy of this story. I had moved to town, but I hadn't started working yet. Of course, you're listening to the radio station 24/7, and I heard Randy Carricker. I was like, oh, who's this sports guy? Let me see what this sports guy's all about. And after 10 minutes, I was like, wow, this sports guy's actually pretty good. And then I listened for another hour or so. I was like, wow, that Randy Carricker certainly knows what's going on. He was answering phone calls. And Randy Carricker and I have had a chalk talk together. We've been fired together. We've been hired together. It's been a fun run with Randy all these years. Let's see here. Tipping. I'm happy to hear you mentioned the norm was 15% and 20% for exceptional service. I'm 52 and I've worked as a server for nearly 10 years. 20% now seems to be the catch-all amount for everything. Of course, Captain Paul will be there. You've already said he'll pay the tab. Laugh out loud. My mom always told me if you can't afford the tip, you can't afford the meal. Ain't that the truth? I like the idea of only facials where tipping is not allowed because it's included. Makes everything so easy. I like that too. Once or twice a year at Christmas, I give the waitress a $100 tip for my breakfast, and you have no idea what a small gesture, how it makes people happy. There is no question when you do something like that, when you're paying it forward. Do you ever do this? Do you ever go through a fast food restaurant and buy the lunch for the person behind you?
Paying it forward.
Paying it forward, so to speak, anonymously. You don't get credit if you call a news conference and say you've done it. But if you just do it, it's a random act of kindness, so to speak. Let's talk St. Mary's. St. Mary's High School is an all-boys Catholic education rooted in the Marinist spirit. And what's great about St. Mary's is that, they're making some news, man. They're making some big news, the kind of news that moves the needle. First of all, their attendance is going up exponentially. Kids are coming from all over the region because they see what is going on at St. Mary's, and they see the value of the parents do of sending their kids to St. Mary's because they're meeting the connections that are going to sustain them and propel them for their lifetime. They are meeting with world-class athletes. They're meeting with world-class teachers and world-class students. These students are going to learn the skills that are going to propel St. Louis for the 21st region, whether it's businesses, whether it's unions. Now they've just cut a deal with UMSL. So now when you graduate from St. Mary's, you automatically get a nice, big, fat scholarship to UMSL. And then UMSL allows their student teachers to come and teach at St. Mary's. So it's a great relationship between the two. And that's what St. Mary's understands. They understand that their job is to build relationships. And what's going on at St. Mary's is nothing short of amazing. So you have a young man, you're looking at all boys Catholic education, do yourself a favor. You tap into a alumni group that has a whole lot of millionaires and a couple of billionaires that all got their start right there at St. Mary's. stmaryshs.com. Captain Paul will take a little break, and then we'll come back with Joe. He's got some questions for me. Oh, I got some answers. St. Louis Classic Company Traffic Center. Here's Captain Paul.
McGraw, there's an accident on 70 East at Packers Avenue past the Musial Bridge in East St. Louis, and 64 West is jammed between Illinois 159 and 255. That's where the 64 West closure starts, and it stretches to 15th Street in East St. Louis. This traffic report is brought to you by Fielder Electric. See what everyone is saying about the pros at Fielder Electric. Whether it's a new build or a 100-year-old home, Fielder Electric has you covered. From the KTRS St. Louis Closet Company Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Redoing your bath, Jacob. You want to call Jacob, jacobbaths.com. 1-800-222-6776. 50 years they've been redoing baths here in St. Louis. They've got it down. That's what they do exclusively, bath remodels. They specialize in helping seniors age in place. They also specialize in taking out all that mold and mildew and putting in both a safe and beautiful-looking bathroom. They specialize in updating bathrooms in beautiful colors and 21st century designs. So at Jacob, they will replace the current tub. They'll put in a low threshold walk-in shower. They'll install seats and grab bars, non-stick surfaces. All of the materials are composite. They look luxury. They look stone. They look tile, but they last a lifetime. And they last a lifetime without any care or maintenance. Just clean it up. Most installations at Jacob Baths are 1 to 2 days. Do yourself a favor, both sides of the river or the website, jacobbaths.com.
When you want to send flowers to a loved one for a birthday, anniversary, or that special occasion, call your friends at Walter Knoll Florist. Walter Knoll is family-owned and operated and offers custom designs by expert designers. A huge inventory and selection that only the largest florist can offer, with quality and care that no grocery store florist can meet. They have several locations in the St. Louis metro area to serve you. Order online today at WKF.com. That's WKF.com. Walter Knoll Florist, your personal florist since 1883.
When you pay for tree work, you want to be sure you're getting the most for your hard-earned money. That's why you should always use the ISA certified arborist at River City Tree Service in Baldwin, Missouri. Hi, I'm Steve with River City Tree Service, and we've been the go-to tree service since 2008. Tree removal, tree trimming, storm damage, deadwood removal, stump grinding, and more. Give River City Tree Service a call for all your tree service needs at 314-270-8071. That's 314-270-8071. River City Tree Service.
Stock market ups and downs can make planning for retirement feel like a roller coaster ride. Are your assets properly balanced to withstand market volatility? Midwest Money gives you actionable strategies to reduce risk and build reliable income streams you can't outlive. Get the clarity and confidence you need to retire on your own terms. Listen to Midwest Money every Sunday at 9:30 a.m. on Big 550 KTRS.
John Beal Roofing has been proudly serving homeowners and businesses in the St. Louis metro area on both sides of the river in Missouri and Illinois for over 3 generations. A dependable roof begins with a team you can count on, and that's exactly what you get with John Beal Roofing. Recognized as one of Roofing Contractor Magazine's top 100 roofing companies, John Beal Roofing offers 24/7 emergency service and industry-leading warranties, including a lifetime workmanship warranty for total peace of mind. From upgrading an aging roof or completing a full replacement, the team at John Beal Roofing delivers solutions that are built to code, built to last, and handled with expert care. John Beal also responds quickly with reliable storm damage services backed by decades of experience and 24/7 emergency support. Get started today for expert service and a free, no obligation estimate by calling 1-800-NEW-ROOF. That's 1-800-NEW-ROOF.
It's Julie Buck for my friends at Capital Advisory Group. Jeff Zufall is the Senior Tax Strategist and Wealth Advisor at Capital Advisory Group. #1 best-selling books, I might add, and it's all about taxes. Keep what's yours and keeping what's yours. We celebrate our nation's 250 years of independence. Small business owners understand the freedom and the independence that comes from owning your own business. And Jeff Zufall and his team at Capital Advisory Group are celebrating 50 years, helping small businesses maintain their independence by minimizing the financial risk to their business, reducing their tax liability, and growing their wealth with strategic tax planning. If you're relying on investment advice from someone who isn't familiar and feel you might be paying more than your fair share of taxes, then call Jeff and his team. They can help you. Here's the number. It's 636-394-5524. 636-394-5524, or go to their website. It's capitaladvisorygrp.com.
Mark Lawson with Black Fox Cooper, your local Anderson certified contractor. Many homeowners live with old drafty windows for years, thinking they can put it off until later. But once they replace them with new Anderson windows, they often tell me the same thing. I can't believe the difference. Their homes are quieter, more comfortable, and more energy efficient, and the curb appeal is drastically improved. At Black Fox Cooper, we help homeowners understand their options and select the right Anderson windows for their home and budget. Do it today instead of tomorrow. Call 314-270-1484, online blackfoxcooper.com.
Inland Marine Boats in Barnard has been serving your boating needs for 40 years. Hi, I'm Jim, and this is my son, Ryan.
Remember, you only get 18 summers with your kids. Make the most of them with a boat from Inland Marine Boats, your Mercury Marine dealer.
Now back to McGraw, presented by Londoff Chevrolet, the Londoff Autoplex, and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
That latest bid is still $3,000 on the Ultimate Sports Package. 3 bills, 3 large. Anybody want to go bigger? You have until 10 o'clock to get the added benefit of getting the Ultimate Sports Package and then dinner with Rose, Carl, McGraw, and Captain Paul at John Minio's if that bid carries the rest of the day. Joe is on line 1. Joe, good morning. Welcome to KTRS.
Hey, McGraw. Got the questions that your listeners are chomping at the bit to know the answers to.
Go ahead.
What's your favorite breed of dog?
Oh, that's a tough one. I've had, I'd have to say a lab, just because I had sweet old Molly. Don't want to talk about her because I don't feel like crying. She was a black lab, and now we have Rosie, the yellow lab. So I would have to say labs.
Oh yeah, that's a very good family dog.
Very good family dog. Emerson jumps on her and bounces on her and pokes her and prods her, and she leaves her alone. So it's a good, safe dog.
Okay, your favorite pie?
Oh, my favorite pie, 3.14. Thank you very much. Don't forget to tip your waiters. It's this is a tough one. It's I gotta say blueberry or blackberry, preferably blueberry. I can't believe I'm saying that. I love a good blueberry pie, but Menino's Dutch apple is off the charts fantastic. I used to only love pumpkin, and not that I don't like pumpkin anymore, but give me a good blueberry pie, maybe a little piece of ice cream on the top, a little a la mode. Oh man, after a Thanksgiving dinner, that's pretty good right there.
Okay, so you kind of shy away from the cream pies then, huh?
Yeah, not a cream pie guy, not a though I have, what is it, Alaskan, whatever that was. What's the Alaska one?
Baked Alaska?
Baked Alaska. I had that. That was okay. But no, not necessarily a cream guy. No, I'm more of a fruity pie. I'm more of a fruity guy, if that makes any sense.
Okay. Do you prefer walking, jogging, or a combination of both?
Walking, actually. I should do more of it. But no, I think walking is... I actually enjoy walking. I just don't have time to do it anymore, or I got to make that time for it. But no, walking is... it's a great exercise. It's easy on the knees and the joints and everything else. And it's about as good of exercise as you can humanly do. So
okay.
I'd say walking. Yeah, except for that chair Tai Chi that I see online every once in a while.
Yeah, for sure. All right.
All right.
Thanks, Paul.
You got it. Joe with his questions at 9:35 here on the Big 550 KTRS. St. Mary's isn't only for Catholic boys, is it? St. Mary's is open to all. It is, however, in the Maronist spirit. So they're a religious order or a religious bent to it. Catholic Maronist is the order. But no,
it is all boys.
And it is all boys. But no, if you're a Muslim and you can go to St. Mary's, you're Jewish, absolutely Protestant, a Mormon, whatever, it doesn't matter. They'll take all. But it will be a Catholic education.
You will have a religion class.
You will have a religion class, yes. But there's well known that Catholic schools are very accepting of all other faiths and religions and everything else. Yeah, no. In Japan, it's an insult to give a tip. They feel it is their job to give good service. I give my trash man $50 every Christmas. Speaking of that, did somebody tell me, was it Japan or China? It might have been Japan. Somebody went to a World Cup game and Japan was playing. And Japan, I'm pretty sure it was Japan. And the crowd was doing all their chants and cheering, and the Japanese crowd had garbage bags with them.
They cleaned up their sections as they were leaving.
As they were leaving, they were cleaning up their sections. Think about that for a second. Talk about culture. Talk about learning different things and things that are important to different cultures. When Japanese people go to a ball game, they bring a garbage bag so they can take away all their garbage and not just leave it there. Americans, we're learned day one. You finish with your ice cream stick. What do you do with it? Throw it under the seat. Okay, I'm finished with my soda. Throw it under the seat. Oh, okay.
So they also did it in Qatar in 2022, and they also did it in Russia in 2018.
Yeah.
But not only that, after they got knocked out by Brazil, the players cleaned the locker room.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
Crazy stuff when you think about it. Not only that, but I remember when the first Good Humor, right, vanilla chocolate cup that I had with the wooden spoon from Good Humor. The guys, right, and sitting at that Cardinal game and that Met game in 1977 where
Cardinals won.
Where the Cardinals won, where Ted Simmons hit the grand slam off John Matlack to win the game. When I'm eating my Good Humor ice cream with the wooden stick, and I turn to my father and I say, "Where do I put this?" He's just throw it on the floor. Oh, okay, fine. What a bizarre concept. Just throw it on the floor. Oh, okay, Dad, whatever you say. Let's see here. What did Harry Ham do? He was on the old folks station, wasn't he? Yeah, he had a pretty big fall from grace. I don't want to rehash it, but got into some trouble with the courts and ended up passing away not too long after that. But I didn't know. I mean, didn't really socialize with the man. Just saw him at work, but was a pretty sad ending. There's a Paul Manos on Olive in Chesterfield. Okay, that's the one. On Olive. Yeah, Oliver Clarkson, right? Yeah. My son, who's 14, is battling osteosarcoma. Just had his first interview with the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Organizations like this, the Men's Group Against Cancer, are all such wonderful support mechanisms for individuals battling this horrific disease. Yes, it is. That's why we do it every single year. The bid right now is $3,000 for the Ultimate Sports Package. If that bid carries the day, we'll also throw in dinner at Paul Minio's with the group. Let's yield for a question. Josh Gilbert enters the hallowed studio here at KTRS.
Did we get the restaurant straightened out? Figure this out?
It's very confusing.
Yeah. Are we wearing the same shirt today?
We are wearing the same shirt.
Holy cow.
Nice. Okay, the one I'm talking about is John Minio's on Clayton Road and Mason Road.
Okay.
That's the one I was talking about.
All right.
There was a Paul Manos over here.
A Paul Minio's.
Paul Minio's over here.
No, Paul Manos is on Olive
Oh, my goodness.
in the strip mall
Okay.
at 141.
Got it. Okay.
Paul Manos.
That was Paul Manos. What was the one out here at Westport?
Paul Minio's.
Paul Minio's.
Yes.
Okay. Was Paul Minio's any relation to John Minio's?
I don't know. I'm assuming.
Okay.
I thought Frank said that they were brothers.
Just ask Frank. Why are we even talking about this?
I don't really talk to Frank all that much.
In fact, we won't talk to him tomorrow because of the radio.
Is he out all week at
No,
the
he's
golf
here now.
at the golf course?
Oh, okay.
He's here now. But
So I'm
then
at the
he's
golf
going
course last night on the TV.
Oh, nice.
I want to promote the show today.
Yes.
But I heard you guys talking about the pay it forward.
Yes.
At the fast food restaurants.
Yes.
I hate that.
Oh, okay, Mr. Gloom and Doom. Why do you hate
joy?
Why do you hate paying it forward to some unsuspecting person having a bad day, cheering them up?
Ultimately, whether it goes 100 people or 50 people or 12 people, one person gets a free meal out of the whole thing. Because I pull up and I've got my $10 and I'm paying for my burger and fries. And then, the person in front of you got it. All right, well, what's the guy behind me got? Oh, they got, a Happy Meal and a burger. Okay, well, I'll pay for them then.
If somebody does you a random act of kindness, I don't think you should feel obligated to then pay it back immediately.
But they got these, Carl, they got these things and they go for like 100 people and then it gets on the news.
I think they always say, you're going to be the one breaking the chain. I think they say that to every single person.
They guilt you into buying the person behind you. Now, I can afford it.
Yeah.
I want
you can afford a Happy Meal.
I can afford a Happy Meal.
Right.
Yeah, but
I
what
want
if you got a party at 10?
Can I turn around and look and see a frazzled single mom with 3 kids who've been yelling and screaming about wanting to go to McDonald's?
But you can go at the dinner and then buy that person's tab and then walk out and they would never know you bought the single mother's dinner.
Yeah, but then with the line, the way the line is built, to Carl's point, they goad you into keeping.
I understand
it
that,
going.
but the single mother at the restaurant who you pick up the tab unknowingly, she doesn't have to then turn around and buy something for somebody else.
No.
Yeah.
No. It should end with the people that really need it. But this thing going for 100 cars.
Josh?
Yeah, who are you to say? Rich people need a leg up every once in a while.
They do? They do?
What I don't like is this. When you end up getting like a hole-in-one legitimately, not like the guy out.
Fake guy?
Yeah, not like the fake guy. But when you get a hole-in-one legitimately, and then you're like, drinks are on that guy, right? So you get a hole-in-one, and then it costs you $500 because you got to buy everybody drinks.
No, that once in a lifetime. Have you ever gotten a hole-in-one?
No.
I don't golf.
No. Haven't gotten close a couple times.
Would you be happy to buy the clubhouse drinks?
No. Most of those people I don't like.
But if you were a golfer, let's say
they call them duffers.
Let's say you threw a
They
no
call
hitter.
Carney a duffer.
But a complete game no hitter.
Yeah.
Would you
buy the team dinner?
Buy the team drinks or dinner?
Yeah.
No.
Would you go to McDonald's and
I'd
do
get
a pay it forward?
I'd get a Happy Meal. I get a Happy Meal. And they'd be like, how come I didn't get mine? No, I random acts of kindness they're not supposed to be.
They're supposed to be random.
They're supposed to be random and unknown. So
Sure.
yeah.
But when you get this thing going in a chain for 50 cars.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Point of
I've
that?
never heard of that chain where you're supposed to.
You haven't?
I've
That's
heard
the only
of.
time you hear about. On the news, a local fast food restaurant had a pay it forward chain that lasted 40 cars.
Yeah, I haven't heard that. Yeah. Interesting.
What happens if you get the softball team behind you?
Yeah, then you're in trouble. Yeah. All right, good. What's going up on the show this afternoon?
It's Wednesday. Have you ever tuned in to hear Valerie Friedland? She is our linguistics professor.
Oh.
She's got a new book out, Why We Talk Funny. And
about St. Louisans?
Well, about all different kind of dialects and accents.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But did you ever take a linguistics class in college? Some people call it a bubbler, and other people call it a water fountain, and other people call it a drinking fountain.
No. I took a phonics class in college and had no idea what they were talking about.
Yeah, it's not the same. But like crawdad, crawfish, and crayfish.
Oh, yeah.
Like different parts of the country.
Yeah.
She gets into all that stuff.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right. By the way, this Ultimate Sports Package you're giving away?
Yes.
Or we're auctioning
We're
off
going to
today?
announce it tomorrow.
Yeah. No, you're announcing it today at
today.
5:45.
Who's the winner?
Well, we don't know yet. They can bid throughout the day, but the current bid is $3,000.
Since I'm on the show today, can I come to the dinner?
No.
Oh.
No. We're paying it forward somewhere else.
Oh.
Captain Paul is coming to the dinner.
to come.
He is representing the afternoon show.
Okay.
We're going to meet him for the first time. $3,000 is the bid. If somebody outbids $3,000, then the dinner goes away.
But that guy's going to pay $2,000.
$2,000 to go to dinner.
Go
right.
to dinner with you.
Yes, correct. But current bid is $3,000 right now.
So my brother's a police officer.
This sounds like a joke.
We could look this guy's phone number up.
Yeah.
And vet him.
I think
he gave us his name.
He did? And his address.
Okay. Oh, he did? Okay.
You don't need a flock camera on the guy to figure out where he lives.
Just want to keep you guys safe because
Okay.
Captain Paul is a vital part of our show. I'd hate for him to be murdered at the restaurant.
Ladies and gentlemen, the comedy stylings of Josh Gilbert and company in
3 to 6.
the afternoon. 3 to 6. It's the KTRS Z Afternoon Zoo here on the Big 550 KTRS.
Thank you.
All right. There you go. 946 here, Big 550 KTRS. Let's talk Beatty Roofing. Can we talk Beatty Roofing? Beatty Roofing, residential, but they got started in commercial. They've done some of the biggest commercial buildings in St. Louis Science Center, Lambert Airport, the Magic House, the hospitals. You're not getting any of those contracts if you're a schlock company. Beatty Roofing's been doing this since 1950s. They were considered one of the big four, and they got all the big commercial contracts. Why? Because their reputation and their work demanded it, right? That's was such a great reputation that Beatty Roofing was the go-to for many of these big companies and these big corporations. Now, Beatty Roofing is in not only commercial, but in the residential space. So these storms you get when the tree falls on the roof and you've got roof damage, who do you call? Beatty Roofing. They take that expertise and that knowledge they learned in the commercial world, and they've just superimposed it on the residential world. They have project managers on site all day, every day for every single residential job. They support some of the biggest and best charities here in St. Louis. And if you're a first responder, Beatty Roofing will give you 10% off of your roof. Beatty Roofing will also work with your insurance company. You want a quality company who's been around a long time, who is all about St. Louis? Beatty Roofing. 314-892-1331 or BeattyRoofing.com.
Ask any designer and they'll tell you lighting is key. It's Heidi, and you can completely transform your home with Nora Lighting, which is available at my go-to store, Metro Lighting. From recessed to under cabinet lighting, Nora helps brighten every corner beautifully. Visit Metro Lighting St. Louis area showrooms to explore all the Nora Lighting solutions, or check them out online at metrolightingcenters.com.
Choose Pella of St. Louis for window and door replacement to help enhance your home. For a limited time, get 20% off Pella projects. Call 833-87-PELLA or visit Pella.com/radio. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
I'm Farmer Dave, and here's my good friend and owner of MasterCars Inc., Alex Rosenberger, with today's hot MasterCars Inc. deals.
Thanks, Farmer Dave. This has been a sales volume record-breaking year for us so far. I need more vehicles. Got one to sell? I'd love to buy Corvettes, late model muscle cars, Porsches, Vipers, Ford Raptors, Shelby Mustangs, you name it. I'll even buy an everyday vehicle if it's super clean and low mile. I make it easy, even if you still owe money. I cut you your equity check right on the spot and make your payoff. I also buy classic cars and exotic. If it's unique, pristine, and low mile, I want it. We even buy our entire collections. We just bought an awesome collection of Mopars from Florissant last week. Hop on our site to submit your vehicle and we'll take it from there. MasterCarsInc.com.
So rev that motor and point your car in the direction of MasterCars Inc. and buy or sell today. 4100 Namioki Road in Granite City, or visit MasterCarsInc.com to get more details. That's MasterCarsInc.com.
Looking for a new kitchen or bath? Call me, Anne-Marie Bogus, the co-host of the Inside Out Show and owner and designer at Anne-Marie Design Studio. Visit our website at annemariestudio.com. We can help make your dream space into a reality. We're a fine kitchen and bath boutique located in Wildwood. We do it all, from design to bid to installation too. Call us today at 636-821-3395 or go online at annemariestudio.com. Let's make your dream kitchen or bath a reality with Anne-Marie Design Studio.
Most car shopping starts online. And lately, shoppers are spending more time at hwkia.com. Recent website reporting shows HW Kia shoppers spend nearly twice as much engaged time on the site compared to other Kia dealer websites. That means people are choosing hwkia.com instead of doing other important internet activities, like watching a guy build a swimming pool out of mud, or looking up, can my dog eat pickles? Why are they staying on hwkia.com nearly twice as long? Because there's more worth looking at. More new Kia inventory, more ways to shop, more ways to check current offers, more ways to value your trade, and more ways to find a payment that works for you. The report also shows hwkia.com shoppers are taking action and engaging through chats, texts, forums, and money-saving website events. So before you bounce from dealership to dealership, start where other shoppers are already spending more time and getting the deal they deserve. Start now at hwkia.com. Research compiled from June and July website traffic.
Hey, it's Julie Buck for our friends at Triad Bank. They are a full-service financial institution, and they've been in St. Louis for over 20 years with 2 locations, one at Clayton and Lindbergh, and the other one just west of 270 on Olive. If you've got your own business and you want to have a better banking experience, look no further than Triad Bank. Their mission is to provide a wide range of commercial and personal banking services to you and your business. For more, go to triadbanking.com.
If you're from St. Louis, you likely have a Maggie O'Brien story. Maggie O'Brien's has become an iconic local hotspot for St. Louis sports, holiday parties, corporate and private events in downtown St. Louis for food and fun with distinctive Irish flair. Do check out their location in Sunset Hills, Maggie O's.
Now back to McGraw, presented by Londoff Chevrolet, the Londoff Autoplex, and Londoff.com on the Big 550 KTRS.
The bid, St. Louis Men's Group Against Cancer sports package, $3,000. Remember, if that is the bid at the 10 o'clock hour, if that carries the day, $3,000, they'll also receive not only 2 tickets to the final round of the BMW Championship, City's 2 tickets to the City soccer game, Mizzou football, the Blues game, the Mizzou basketball, the SLU basketball, the Ambush, the Battlehawks, and 2 tickets to a Cardinals home opener next week. And not only will you receive all that, but you also, if you're the winning bid at 10 o'clock, that carries the day. You have to carry the rest of the day. You have to be the winning bid. No one can outbid you all day long. If you are the winning bid, McGraw, Carl, Rose, and Captain Paul will take you and a friend, 2 people, to John Minio's restaurant on Clayton Road and Mason. Current bid, $3,000. You have 8 minutes to make a bid. Text your bid to 84126. 84126. From the text line, now at the dinner, are you going to be able to see Rose, or is she going to be wearing a Golden Girl mask? I don't know. Pay over $3,000 and find out. Thanks. Just wanted you to share that on the air since they don't say that in their commercial.
That's the St. Mary's guy.
Oh, I see. Oh. Paying it forward is not supposed to be a contest or a race to the finish. I agree. I agree with Josh. The pay it forward chain is annoying. Leave it to McGraw to complain about something that's never happened to him. Putt golf doesn't count, McGraw. What was that?
Getting a hole in one.
Oh. Hey, hey, just look at YouTube. You are wearing the same shirt. Yes, we are. If it makes you feel relaxed and comfortable, have her image with him all the time. Well, hold on a second. Do you realize that Trump's personal assistant used to be a strawberry blonde, but she dyed and cut her hair so it looks like Ivanka? Supposedly that makes him feel more relaxed and comfortable having her image with him all the time. Once he said if Ivanka wasn't his daughter, he would date her. Wonder what he thinks the same thing now. That is true. It was here in Dallas. I was a flight attendant, and I used to fly to Japan, and they're the cleanest people anywhere, and they won't accept tips. In Japan, they don't even have public trash cans. Everyone has to clean up after themselves. They usually take their trash home.
That's true.
Please don't put me into the category of throwing a popsicle stick on the ground. I believe everyone should pick up after themselves. I knew somebody who worked at a radio station who wanted to keep the studio clean, so they decided to take the garbage can away. And I was like, well, that's counterintuitive. They said, well, if I take the garbage can away, there won't be any garbage. I'm like, no, if you take the garbage can away, there'll be plenty of garbage because there's no garbage can. Where are you supposed to throw things away?
Just leave it out.
Yeah, very confusing. David, good morning. You're on the Big 550 KTRS.
Good morning, McGraw. Yeah, I'm the one that sent you in that text. I was a flight attendant for 34 years, and going to Japan, as we would pick up the meal trays, they were the neatest meal trays to pick up. It was the easiest flights to pick up. And I won't tell you the worst country, but it was really nice to work to Japan flights because the tray, they would hand it to you, everything would be neat. And then when you get to any country, we have a bus that picks up a crew, and on a 777, you have like 16 crew members, including the pilots. And we pass around an envelope, everybody puts $1 in it. The first time I went to Japan, they're like, no, they won't take it. It's an insult. So that's my 2 cents.
Could you imagine going to a ball game and having a garbage can with you or a garbage bag with you? It's amazing.
Yeah, they did that. That was here at Dallas Stadium.
Yeah.
They didn't call it AT&T at the time. But yeah, that was crazy.
Crazy stuff. David, thanks for checking in, as always. You got it. Let's do. I got enough time to tell you about Neighbors Credit Union, neighborscu.org. Went to lunch with Paula Anderson from Neighbors Credit Union yesterday. We had lunch at the Piccadilly, and it was great. She said, wanted to tell me to tell everybody to say hi. Neighbors Credit Union, the home of the Home Everything line of credit. You get a great low introductory rate for the first 12 months. They also have the smart accounts where the young kids can learn about the value of $1. You can go to the website and look at all the job offerings they have, and when they take you to lunch, don't order the salad for whatever reason. Have them tell you the story. Neighbors Credit Union, 8 area locations. They've been around over 100 years, and they are here on the front lines helping you with car loans, home everything lines of credit, maybe even that smart account for the next generation. Neighbors, 8 area locations. To find the one nearest you, neighborscu.org. The bid is $3,000. Let's see if you can do higher. Up until 10, we'll be taking those texts. And then after that, Frank's on the clock, and somebody will try and beat $3,000. If not, $3,000 will carry the day, and we'll get all the tickets and dinner at John Minio's for 2 with the show. Hang tight. We'll tell you how it all turns out. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for putting up with me.